recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 210. My name is Brian.
I'm Sean.
Rene.
Nick.
And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Now, hang on, guys. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, which you guys should be, thank you for the 250 subscribers, by the way. We're halfway to 500. We're almost there to getting paid, finally. Thank God. But if you guys are watching on YouTube, hey, Nick, can you quickly say something?
Hey, what's up?
Camera C. We got it.
I have a camera C.
You know how this decision was made? Nick realized he couldn't shut up in the last episode, so he was just like, "We need to get a stand for him."
Yeah, it's true.
And do a third one.
My ego was bruised because I didn't see me, and I felt like that was a shame. So I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go get a third try."
Give the people what they want.
I love how the proposition originally was: producer's role is going to sit in the computer, and they're not going to talk as much, and they're going to mark any important points and download important files. Yeah, they're the man in the chair.
Yeah.
And then Nick decided to be like, "No, I'm still Batman.
I'm still Batman.
Yeah. I still got to be Batman."
Listen, Oracle is still Oracle.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, he's going to be there. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Like I said, 250 subscribers. We have 6,000 downloads on our Podbean as well.
That's awesome.
Nice.
6,000 something downloads.
Yeah, the audio is killing it.
The audio is killing it. It's interesting because I've been looking at the statistics on Podbean, and it looks like people are listening to our backlog, which is good. That means that people would want to still revisit our old content, which is great. Guys, continue to support the show. Please let anyone know who you think is interested in the show. And even if they're not interested, just shoot them over a link. Let them know. Subscribe. Please get us to 500 by the end of the year. Make that a present for the future baby about to be born next year,
Don't use your kid.
You have to, dude. You have to start exploiting it that way.
It's not even born yet, and you're already using it as leverage.
What do you mean as leverage? What do you mean as leverage?
You're leveraging these people's hearts.
Not even, dude. You want to know why?
I feel like I think we just lost 2 subscribers.
Before I tell a story real quick, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel at Keeping Up with the Nerds. Follow us on our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. And socials, Facebook, Instagram, and xmen.com. For you, Junior, take a look at Rene doing the X-Men for you right there. Yes. Wakanda Forever too. There you go. No, funny story. This was the thing that I was
it's so funny. Move on. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's like because you asked yesterday, like, what's the funny story?
Oh yeah.
So recently, Andy had like a little bit of an emotional breakdown. And I was trying to like comfort her and try to get her to like come over it a little bit.
It's a funny story.
Hang on, it gets that point.
I don't see it yet.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
Your wife had an emotional breakdown.
Funny, no. So
she just kept saying it's your fault. It's your fault.
So she tells me she's just like, so I'm like, I'm trying to calm her down.
Yeah.
I think I was at Costco paying for stuff, so I'm like, I'll give you a call back. So I don't call her until I get back to the car, just like maybe 10 minutes afterwards, because it's a Costco parking lot. And she's like, okay, I feel better. And I'm like, okay, like, what'd you do? And she's just like, I started listening to the last issue that you guys put up, and just made me feel better that and I got to hear your voice. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. And she's like, yeah, and I also have to listen to what you guys are saying because I kind of want to let the baby hear you and your uncle's voices.
That's cute.
Just like,
you know what? I felt so touched right now. She said uncles.
Yeah, she's just like, yeah, they got to get used to Uncle Rene, Uncle Nick, and Uncle Sean's like voice. And I'm just like, oh. Well, we got to start behaving.
Right?
Got to be baby approved. No.
Never.
We got to be baby approved now.
Yes.
It's way.
So you guys are on baby watch now, dude.
We are.
We're
going to talk crap on that baby before it's born.
You're telling me it's like you're using baby as leverage? You can't do that. Come on. It's like we're going to talk about someone.
I'm just going to walk up to Andy's belly and just be like, oh, you better come out of there nice.
Can you imagine if actually, like, because you know how, like, white noise calms babies? You play the podcast and it calms your baby down.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know
cool.
if Andy was joking, but if she wasn't, that would be pretty funny.
That's why you have to get a pair of headphones and put it on your belly.
Watch
Just
this.
like-
They do.
watch
They
the
do.
sleeves,
I think they sell those, don't they?
They
They
sell
have-
these like little sticky headphones that you put on the belly, and then you can play audio there.
I just the baby's listening to the podcast, and just the baby inside Andy's bed is just going like this when we do the social media. It's just like.
It's just the whole it's like 3 years old. It's like, oh, you're on X, and he goes like, what's going on? Can you control this? Need this switch.
Right. Oh god.
Oh man. man.
baby's
That would
already
be
gonna be messed
funny,
up.
dude. That would be very funny if like the baby just laughs or like just calms down listening to our show.
Mhm.
So that's a new tagline. I think I spoke with Junior a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that should be your guys' new tagline. It's like, the three nerds, baby approved.
Baby approved.
Yeah. We're not just PG now. We're like baby approved. A stamp of it right there. But how's your guys' week's been?
Yeah, not too bad.
No? Any stories?
Yeah, it kind of sucked
I
today.
thought I did, but I don't.
I haven't eaten a bullet, so that's good.
Yeah.
I lived. Sean, you say things like, okay, I get it. It's a
hurts.
tragedy. It's a tragedy.
Sucks.
I think we've all as gamers have had a moment like that.
I haven't.
But don't come into a room being like, dude, I'm so sad.
I hope it never happens to you because it's a terrible feeling.
Dude,
Well, it
we,
won't,
thought,
'cause I don't
sucks
play
so
RPGs.
hard.
we thought you lost family or something like that.
It should have been.
I would.
I think he could have gotten.
If I did, I wouldn't be here.
I think he could have gotten over it faster if it was family.
If it was family, rather than losing, what was it again?
50 hours in Borderlands 3.
Damn, dude.
I mean, in all fairness, it's Borderlands 3, but I mean,
yeah, but it's 50 hours in Borderlands 3.
All the grinding,
it's Borderlands 3.
like
Let's be honest,
trying to get those god rolls for your guns. It's
it's Borderlands 3.
Apparently, he's already done grinding Remnant 2.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I have all the loot that I need. All the loot that's like the most viable for the game, not like stuff that.
So when I
don't
tell you
need.
I want to play with you, you don't respond, but
I'll jump
you'll
on.
loot.
I'll jump on.
You'll loot goblin, monster.
Didn't you say you would let her know when you were on the last time?
Yeah, I didn't get on last night. We were watching a lot of Game of Thrones, like a lot.
You guys rewatching it, or are you guys watching it for the first time?
No, rewatching it. We're on season 3, episode 2 at the moment. Yeah.
I need to get Monica into Game of Thrones.
I want to get Mandy to Game of Thrones, but she's kind of like,
The first season's always the hardest.
yeah, she's kind of a little off from it and stuff like that because she's not a huge fan. Because she doesn't care for Lord of the Rings. I mean, I think she'll watch it, but she does. It's not like,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
makes
fine.
sense.
Oh, what?
What?
Sorry,
just see?
I
Are
was
you on
going. I was
Breaking
going on.
news.
I went on Twitter
Uh-huh.
and I saw something.
Did something get leaked or?
They did
What's the source?
discussing films.
Ooh,
What?
what is it? Go ahead.
Oh, is it comic strips worthy?
It might be. They're saying that they know why Bo DeMeo was fired.
Oh,
Oh.
I got that in comic strips.
Yeah.
I got that.
Okay.
I was flipping through just to see if there was anything that was like that happened right now, and I literally passed by it and I was like,
Wait,
oh my
why is that
God.
name so familiar?
He's the one that
producer.
did. He was the producer that did X-Men '93. Actually,
so
97.
they just released it.
They're saying that there's there's multiple sources that have confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
we'll
right.
talk
What
about it in comic
Okay,
strips.
cool,
So,
cool.
yeah.
I read it and I
Is
was
it
like,
bad?
oh my, it's super bad.
Okay.
The tea's brewing.
So bad. I can totally understand why he fired.
Do we go straight into comic strips, or is there anything we should talk
No,
about?
I mean nothing unless there's anything else you want to add.
No,
I think it's
I think it was. You know what? Honestly, I had a long week,
Yeah.
but it was just mostly me dealing with my students because this is the first week of school.
Oh, rest in peace.
Oh,
So all my students were. I was just signing in kids. Also, I don't know why parents don't understand that school starts and then they forget. I need to take care of them after school.
Yeah.
What do I do? And they all forgot. So I've been getting calls like going off the hook of, hey, can I sign my kid up?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, you can sign him up. And they were like, when can I start? I go, they can start. They can start Monday. Why? And they were like, I really need them to start today.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's like 9:00 in the morning, and I'm going. I'll pull some. I'll like move some stuff around. Yeah, they can come. And they were like, okay, cool. I'm gonna call the office and let them know that they're gonna go to Spark today. Like they're gonna go to your thing.
Literally dumping the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the kids are walking to the front, and then I have to then rush over and go, hey, are you so and so? And then they'll go,
No.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm so and so. And I'm like, cool, you're coming with me. And they're like, who are you? I'm like, well, your parents told me that you're coming, so you have to come with me.
Extracurricular activities. What?
Yeah, and they were like, I thought I was just walking home. I go, not anymore. Sorry.
My parents used to drop me and my sister off at the Boys and Girls Club after school. I remember that. It was all right.
The Boys
I
and Girls
used
Club
to-
now is just playing Xbox. Like it's a lot of Xboxes and
You
like
know
pool
what?
tables.
So the Boys and Girls Club here in Whittier, I was volunteering there for like 3 to 4 months. They're
Yeah.
not bad. They have activities.
No, yeah, Boys and Girls Club. It's it's a very good program.
Yeah, it's a cool program. Like they give you activities, and they give you time. Like, oh yeah, if you're coming right after school, the first hour as soon as you walk in,
Just
it's
homework.
Like, it's homework.
When
Get
I was
that done.
when I was volunteering there, I'm surprised at how many kids were like, yeah, just doing homework, doing this to get their stuff done, and that was it. It's interesting.
Yeah, the after school programs are difficult. Just because you used to work at an after school program, you know.
Yeah, we used to work at it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My days,
Stop laughing.
my days were just, how am I gonna piss off Brian today? And our students
My
knew,
villain origin story. Right
and
there.
and our students knew too. They knew I was like intentionally trying to upset him, and they would think it was hilarious.
We were Goku and Vegeta because we picked on each other, but our bosses also hated us being together.
You know, it's really funny. So our bosses then told us, hey, we're going to do taboo. Like, we're going to do like work taboo. So you guys have to pick teammates. So obviously me and him were sitting next to each other. We're like, all right, cool. We teams. We ended up getting 25 points on our turn. Single turn. We got 25. Just back to back to back to back. And we were the first ones to go. And they all went, okay, we got to split them up. They can't play anymore.
Yeah.
We were like, what? Everybody told us that we could pick whatever we want. It's not my fault that you guys don't understand how to do this game.
What was that heads up game that Ellen DeGeneres made? It's heads up, right?
Heads up, 7-Up.
The heads up, this one?
This one, yeah,
Yeah,
we did
yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
Oh, that one.
And we were nailing it because we were doing the most obscure guesses.
They nerfed us by getting rid of movie.
They couldn't do movie.
They nerfed
us,
you guys.
They nerfed us. They're like, okay, no movie and no comic books and nothing nerdy. And then even still, we still got like the weird.
Because then they started doing like pop culture. Like they were just like, oh, we're gonna do pop culture, and then it was so funny because I was like, oh, the guy, I go, fake face and eyes were pulled back all the way, and he was like, what was it, Madonna? And I'm like, got it, let's go. And like they're going, what? He gave 2 things, and that could have been anyone. How did you know it was Madonna? And he was like, I don't know.
What do you want us to do? This is what happens. You created this.
It was Madonna.
Yeah.
All
It was
right.
fun.
So should we jump into comic strips?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like from what I'm reading, there's a lot of big news.
So there's a couple pieces here and there, but after comic strips, we'll be talking about Alien Romulus. Are you going to care for spoilers at all, or should we try to keep it spoiler free?
You can spoil it. That's fine. I'm gonna watch it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. We can try to not spoil Act 3. I feel like Act 3 is like
That's the roughest act I've
that
ever
is the
seen.
rough. Yeah, it's a rough.
That's
act.
what I was told.
That's
Yeah.
what I was telling him. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with comic strips, the portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation. Are we?
You pulled a monster
Ready.
out earlier.
Yeah, it's right
He's
here.
a drink
You're pulling out
goblin.
a Coke.
Huh?
Yeah, Coke. Wait, cherry
No,
Coke?
did you not see the bag he brought in earlier? There were
No.
3 sodas and
Hey,
2
there's
monsters.
another 2 months.
Yeah.
Another second month. God damn.
I'm like Mary Poppins.
I'm
like
Mary
the-
Poppins, yo.
I'm like the Mary Poppins of beverages.
What do you want? Dr. Pepper coconut?
Yeah.
I've got the limited edition Mountain Dews, dude.
You know what? When I went to Little Caesars, apparently they have a limited edition pineapple Pepsi.
It's really
Unfortunately-
good.
That's Pepsi.
It's really good.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's really
they didn't have any when I went. They said they were all sold out.
The
So
last
now I need to go
Pepsi
back.
that ever
Good.
touched my mouth was Pepsi Nitro. Never again.
Pepsi
Oh.
Nitro is gross.
Pepsi Zero Sugar is good.
Pepsi in general is disgusting.
No, you know what
My
Pepsi
allegiance
actually
to
goes really
Coke.
well with?
Cherry Pepsi is
Whiskey.
better than Cherry Coke.
Nope, my allegiance is to Coke. That's it.
I actually really like Pepsi and whiskey. Pepsi and whiskey is really good.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The only real reason Pepsi's still in business is because of Mountain Dew.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know how many subsidiaries they own. Kind of like Coca-Cola, and they own like
they own
Nestle
like a lot of
and,
waters, and,
you know,
like
yeah.
water and stuff like that.
Aquafina.
My Coke allegiance.
They own Aquafina.
Yeah.
I thought you can't own people.
They own Nestle. Coke owns Nestle.
You're on
Nestle is
timeout.
associated with Aquafina.
You're in timeout.
Doesn't Coke also put out Dasani?
Yeah.
Dasani,
and,
yes, yeah.
Powerade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gatorade.
No, not Gatorade.
Powerade is owned by Gatorade.
Is it really?
No, wait, no, it's not.
Powerade
no,
is
I'm wrong.
Coca-Cola.
I'm thinking of Propel. I don't know why I'm thinking of
Oh
Propel.
wow, that's a throwback.
Oh,
Dang.
Propel? Oh,
Propel's still good.
I haven't had Propel in forever.
This isn't comic strips.
Yeah.
We just started tangenting and it's like not even the start of it.
You're welcome.
Oh my god,
Got it out
dude.
of our system.
Let's go ahead and start with Caitlin Dever, the actress that is casted to play the Abby in The Last of Us Season 2. Has
Yes.
had to have extra protection during filming due to the toxicity surrounding her character.
So stupid.
Dang.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
People
I
take things too seriously.
Well, it's the same thing as the dude from Game of Thrones,
Joffrey?
Yeah.
the guy who played Joffrey, he was getting death threats.
Same thing with was it Wyatt Russell as what is it? John Walker and
Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
He was getting death
that's
threats.
right.
He was
They were,
getting death threats. Yeah.
I don't understand.
People can't differentiate between
Between
fact
re-
and reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Fiction and
whole.
reality.
Well, that's the whole reason that the dude that was playing Joffrey, he quit acting.
Yeah, he's done acting.
Wow.
Because he said that he goes, I played a role so well that now I was so hated that I just left the entire industry.
Even the actress that
Ouch.
played Cersei, whenever she goes to cons, no one will go up to
Yeah.
her table because everyone hated her.
Yeah, because everybody hates her.
Everyone hated her,
So like that's why she doesn't go to cons really.
Yeah.
Because when the past couple cons she's been going to, like no one goes up to her booth.
I feel like there's certain actors and actresses where they get a second shot at not being typecasted for being a bad person. Like, what's his name? David Schwartz, voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I think that he got out of his typecasting role. He used to play the over-exaggerated millennial,
The annoying friend.
the annoying guy.
Yeah.
And then he got into voice acting with Sonic, and now he's known for other things. It's like, what? He used to do improv? It's like, yeah, dude, people have lives outside of their roles. Like,
Yeah.
You know who's unfortunately typecast because he plays the same character all the time? Is that one guy that was from
Deadpool.
Ben
Ben Schwartz, not David Schwartz, sorry.
Ben Schwartz, the one actor that was from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he's like, he goes, "I will let you do anything to me."
Oh,
Yeah.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. He's typecast. He's always typecast as like the weird, outlandish.
But he plays it so
character.
well.
He
Crazy
does.
guy. Yeah.
the
but
actor that plays Boyle.
Yeah.
No.
No. The
He's the actor that plays
The undercover cop.
the undercover
yeah,
cop.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got out of that role with Twisted Metal.
no, he's still
No,
kinda
he's still
plays.
the same in
He's still the
Twisted
same.
Metal.
Yes and no, because he was exaggerated to a different degree. Where it wasn't like a stupid character, it was a smart character. You just hate Twisted Metal.
No, I mean like I. That
that
aside,
aside,
I'm not gonna
that
let that
aside.
like ruin what I
Yeah.
thought the character was. I just thought it was like, oh, he's killing babies, eating them, and he hears voices. He's
But
crazy.
he was smart. Like the thing is that he would like in that character in that show, he was hiding the fact that he knew how to fight, and that's what was really shocking about it. So he's breaking out of it, which is really good.
Yeah.
Well, I liked him in The Good Place.
He was really good.
He
in
was
The Good
really
Place.
good in The Good Place. He was also he's been in a lot of stuff.
He does voice acting for
The League.
He was in The League.
Loved
he,
him in the League. That was the
yeah.
first time I saw him.
Yeah, dude.
Big Mouth.
He's also
Yeah.
he does Big Mouth, but he also does he was in John Wick.
He was.
He was in John Wick Chapter 2.
Talk, tick tock, Mr. Wick.
That's right. Forgot about that.
He's one of the bums.
Yeah.
Moving on, Variety releases the ranking of the Alien films, their personal rankings. What do you think is in last place?
Resurrection.
Coveted.
I'm sorry, what would you say?
Their Variety has released the ranking of the Alien films. What's in last place? Not
Resurrection.
Not
It's not
Resurrection.
Prometheus.
Coveted.
Nope, not Covenant.
Really?
Is it Prometheus?
Wow, they're gonna
Not
say
Prometheus.
aliens.
You guys are forgetting.
Alien 3?
Keep in mind, there's more than just the Alien.
AVP?
Just say yes or no.
Is it AVP?
Like,
Is it AVP?
AVPR.
Oh,
Requiem.
Requiem.
oh, that's
Ugh.
technically an alien movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Requiem was not good.
Not really.
No, it wasn't.
8.
In all fairness, I do think Resurrection is worse than AVPR. I'm just saying.
Which one?
AVPR. I think Resurrection is worse than AVPR.
Well, funny enough, Resurrection is number 8. Then
Is it
followed by
really?
Alien 3,
Uh-huh.
then AVP. I do see that because AVP is a fun movie.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's a fun movie, but
Yeah.
it's just not.
It's PG-13.
Do they have the director's cut for
It's
Alien
PG-13.
3?
Yeah, it wasn't rated R.
No.
The director's cut's like 45 minutes longer.
Yeah, I
Of
heard about that.
AVP.
Of which one?
No, of
Alien 3.
Alien 3.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It's the supposedly fixed cut, but you can't really fix a
Yeah,
movie with that big of a
it
mess.
does a good job. It does
okay.
a good job. It's better.
So after AVP, rank 5 is Alien Covenant, then Prometheus, then Alien Romulus, followed by Aliens, and then Alien.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alien got number 1.
Alien always gets number 1.
Should.
Shut it down. Just kidding.
Yes.
Depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
If you're looking
die
for
on
an-
the hill that
Like
Alien.
a sci-fi horror.
If you're looking for a sci-fi horror, I would go with Alien.
Mhm.
But if you're going with like I want a really dope action movie, I would say Alien
Aliens.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I would say Aliens. Yeah.
Funny enough, how they put Prometheus over Covenant.
Hmm?
I find it funny that Prometheus is over Covenant in their rank list. I think I enjoyed Covenant more.
I enjoy
knowing-
Prometheus more.
Really? It's just I can't get over the fact that it had a script rewrite.
Oh.
Everything has a script rewrite these days.
Yeah, but the original script was about Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't know about that?
Like an
Wait.
allegory or just straight up like?
Like it talked about how the engineers.
Sorry.
It's like,
Keep thinking it's
am I
them.
hearing noises?
No, you're
Am I
not.
having a stroke?
You can look at me all you want, Nick.
I think I just find it funny because like when you break out, when the noise breaks, you jump. Oh shoot!
I guess at least it wasn't porn.
No, it wasn't. I'll look at that after I get home.
Oh my god! All right. Let me see. What else can we talk about? Oh, on what do you want to talk about? The podcast with Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton reveals that he has over 600 hours of Elden Ring logged in. What are you looking at me like that for?
Randy-
That's impressive.
Well, he was
600 hours?
He said he was doing it because when he got like triple fusion neck surgery, he had to recoup.
Well, yeah, that makes
for a
sense.
while. So he put his recovery time into playing video games.
Cool.
Yeah.
In all
He is
fairness,
the Elden Lord.
I think
Basically,
I do think I clocked in somewhere near 400.
Yeah.
Pics or it didn't happen.
I'll give you pics.
Timestamp it right now. I want the photo.
All right, you
Put
know
it
what?
put it in the
I'll
podcast.
put it in the podcast.
All right,
I'll-
timestamp it right now. Make sure you mark it down because this is where you have to put the proof. Over 400 hours. It's actually like 400 hours on Steam.
It may be more.
You
21. It's 21.39. But yeah, it may be more.
No, you got. Oh, fine.
I got it.
Okay, did you write it down?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I'm not putting the photos up.
I'm gonna
Nicolas Cage has been casted to play John Madden in David O. Russell's Madden biopic.
What?
Really?
Mm-hmm. The film will follow the origin of the video game. Yeah, I don't know how, and I don't know.
I want to see
What?
Nick Cage play John Madden.
Yeah.
All right, so this is how they do.
Yeah, he's gonna extra hand it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna put a fat suit on him?
Oh
I
yeah.
wonder. I think he'll gain the
100%.
weight.
It's gonna
You think
be,
he'll gain the weight?
No, you don't think so?
No.
I want him to gain the weight.
I do too.
he might gain some weight, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's gonna gain all the weight.
No.
No, I don't. I don't want a penguin situation. I want him to
No.
gain that weight.
No, he's not gonna gain.
Method.
I mean, he's
Method.
old, dude.
I want him to
He's
Christian. I want to Christian Bale it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Christian Bale.
Yeah.
We're talking about Nicolas Cage.
Dude,
This
Christian
guy-
Bale's in his 50s.
You know what he'll probably do? Live in the fat suit for like months before actually like
Just get used to it.
just get used to it.
He kind of did a fat suit in that movie where everyone's dreaming about him. I
Mandy?
haven't seen
Or-
it, seen it yet. Not
um,
Mandy.
the Freddy Krueger prequel.
No, he's like a college
Oh, that
professor,
one,
and
yeah,
for
that's-
whatever
that's what it-
reason,
that's
people
what
are
it is,
dreaming of
yeah.
him, and he's in the background.
Yeah, I know, but what was it?
Oh.
People re-edited it
Uh-huh.
as a Freddy Krueger prequel
It's funny.
because like he was showing up at people's dreams, and then
Can you send me that?
yeah, I'll send it
I
to
want to
you.
watch that.
Yeah, somebody re-edited the trailer so that way it was it was like
Nick is
him,
coming
and then
for
like
you.
you see, yeah. And like you see like Nick Cage's face, and then
Oh God, not the beast!
but like you would see like light change, and then like you see like Freddy's face come forward, and then you see Nick Cage. It's amazing.
That's cool. It's a cool edit.
He's like looking at himself. How did I get burned? How did I get burned? How did I get burned?
Johnny Blaze. Go.
Johnny, and it led to Ghost Rider. He was in people's dreams. Then he turned into Ghost Rider, and then he turned into Freddy Krueger.
Someone has to make a timeline of every Nicolas Cage movie and have it be connected in one universe.
Yeah.
Like, what was the first
Someone's
movie
gonna go
in the
crazy.
Nicolas
I
Cage
think
universe?
a customer and I were talking about that because I was putting on Total Recall, and we did that with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And we're just like, okay, how would we do that? It'd be like, okay, so in Total Recall, he's trying to get to Cohagen because Cohagen has the cure because Arnold Schwarzenegger's pregnant, because in Junior and
Okay.
stuff like that. And he's like, oh, but then he finds out Cohagen's his clone, stuff like, it's a clone baby. And stuff. And then
Actually-
you gotta hurry up and get to the chopper.
Predator
Uh-huh.
would be one of the first ones.
Yeah.
And then after Predator, what's that movie where he's getting the action figure? You love it so much.
Oh, Turbo Man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Turbo-
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Way.
So
I love that
Jingle
movie.
All the Way.
double bad dodge.
Jingle
got
All the
two.
Way is after
He's got
Predator.
two.
Is after Predator
Yeah.
because it's him coming back from the war,
Suffering with this PTSD.
and then he's trying to get a gift, dude.
Yeah.
And then Predator's trying to get that gift. And that Predator's played by Sinbad. Oh, God.
He does have bombs.
He does.
Dude, I don't know.
He does.
I don't know how Nicolas Cage is gonna do it, but I don't know.
That's
He'll do it.
crazy.
I'm
He'll
into
do
it. I'm into it.
You're in,
I'm not excited for it. I have to see a trailer and then I'll judge from there.
I'm
only
curious.
into it because I want to see how Nick Cage is gonna play John Madden.
Yeah.
I want to see.
God,
and
he's
do
so great.
the talkovers where he does the play-by-play. It's just like, and then we go to the left in the here and stuff. And like,
Cutting in here.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do this player here.
yeah, we're gonna do this. That's how John Madden is remembered. It's just doing the play-by-play.
We'll see, man. We'll
Yeah.
see. All right. Ridley Scott names his 4 favorite films. Does anyone have any guesses?
Aliens.
Alita Battle Angel.
Ridley Scott.
An Alien Covenant.
I didn't even have to do Aliens, but I'm taking credit for it anyways.
Alita Battle Angel.
No, but that's a good guess. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
Oh,
Quest for Fire.
Quest for
What's that?
Fire.
And Blade Runner.
oh.
He put his own. He put.
course he would.
It's Ridley Scott, dude. Of course he's gonna put his own film in there.
Really?
It's
It's
like
like
asking
well
James
deserved.
Cameron.
He likes Blade Runner more than Alien.
I think
He's.
so.
I think Blade Runner because it's like that's something that he like cooked up.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Alien was too, but I think Blade Runner was always the vision he always wanted to do of a
Yeah.
movie he wanted to do.
Wasn't Blade Runner after Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Hmm?
So the way that I remember, because there was an interview with the DGA, the Directors Guild of America,
Yeah.
where he was talking about what he did for Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And apparently Blade Runner wasn't supposed to happen the way it did.
Yeah.
He actually scrapped a lot of different set pieces from the studio he was working in
Mm-hmm.
to build that, cybertopia or that cyberpunk-esque looking Los Angeles. So it was like scrapped up. And not just that, but think about it. Blade Runner has 3 cuts: the theatrical, the director's, and the finals cut.
Which was the cut to watch if you
Final
watch?
cut.
Is it the
Final
cut?
cut?
Final.
So
If-
so the director's cut, you don't watch that one.
The director's cut is what you want to watch if you want to understand what Ridley Scott was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And the final cut is the agreement between Ridley Scott and the studio
Oh,
after
okay.
the theatrical cut. It's like, okay, this is the story we can tell that kind of makes 49
Yeah.
like
I don't
it
think
makes
it-
it understandable.
I don't think I've watched the final cut. I know I've never watched the theatrical cut, so I probably watched the director's cut.
I've
Yeah.
only seen the director's
Because
cut.
Yeah.
because you guys were asking, the Quest for Fire is a 1981 prehistoric fantasy film.
Oh, who starred in it?
It was, let me see, produced, starred Everett McGrill,
Mm-hmm.
Ray Don Chong, Ron Perlman.
Ron
Cool.
Perlman,
It's 1981.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
a
that
young
makes
Ron
sense.
Perlman.
Optimus Prime.
And he used them in Alien Resurrection. Ridley Scott.
He did.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is a Canadian-French co-produced film of a 1911 Belgian novel called The Quest for Fire by J.H. Rosny. It's the story set in the 18,000 years ago, and the plot concerns the struggle for and control of fire by early humans.
I'm intrigued.
course.
I'm intrigued. I'll be down to watch
It
that.
won a bunch of Academy Awards.
He had to pick an artsy-fartsy film. He's just like, I need a film that
At least it wasn't a
explains
Wes
my sci-fi
Anderson.
love,
That's
a popular
fair.
film, and a film that's artsy-fartsy, and then a film that I own.
In all fairness, I don't think Wes Anderson deserves any award he gets.
Wes Anderson?
I don't like any Wes Anderson movie.
Really?
I don't. I've never watched a Wes Anderson movie and
Have
gone
you-
like, damn, that's good.
Roll with N-bombs.
Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah.
No, really? Not even
Budapest Hotel?
Fantastic
Didn't
Mr.
like
Fox.
it. Didn't like it.
Budapest. Yeah.
Budapest Hotel is.
Is it the
it's
style?
Easily
Is it
Didn't
the
like it.
style or the humor?
Or is it too quirky for you? Yeah.
It might just be the style. I just don't like it. Like,
Yeah.
That's fine.
which I thought was funny.
That's
'Cause
understandable.
speaking of which, it's not his movie, but Poor Things. Me and Monica were over it. We watched it. We were
you
both,
totally, yeah.
and we were both like, it's me.
That's not a Wes Anderson.
I know it's not Wes Anderson, but,
But it's
it's
a
like
movie
it's
that-
like
It invokes
kooky.
Wes Anderson. Yeah, I thought
It's just as kooky.
Yeah, when
We
Christy
didn't
and I
get
were
it.
watching it, I'm like, oh, this gives me Wes Anderson vibes.
It does. Even the lighting and like
Yeah.
the special effects.
So Andy and
It
I
felt
were
very Wes Anderson.
we were talking about this because Andy and I were talking about this because I really hated how social media and like a bunch of influencers were in this trend after Asteroid City came out, where it's like, oh, let's make things into Wes Anderson-esque looking thing. And I'm like, do people not realize that yes, it's a style, but there's a name to this?
It took
It's-
them how long to like figure that out? Wes
Yeah.
Anderson's been out for like years.
He does diorama set design.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's
I
diorama
like
set
that.
design, and it's bright colors, and he uses aspect ratios to tell his story.
He uses a lot of pastels.
Yeah, it's pastel colors, and people are like, "Oh my god, this is so creative, so different." It's like, dude,
Can you look up what was Wes Anderson's first film?
Sure.
oh my god, what
I
was
want to
it?
say it was Rushmore.
you might be right.
Bill
Murray?
Murray and Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
You might
Which
be
makes
right.
sense because those are the actors he uses in
All the
of
time.
his movies.
You know what's funny?
Life
You said
Aquatica.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Hmm?
You said Fantastic Mr.
Yeah.
Fox. I couldn't. I liked it.
You don't
Not
like
in my
it?
top 3.
You know what? That's like my number 1 favorite Wes Anderson film.
Isle of
because
Dogs.
You know
Isle of
what?
Dogs,
Is that good?
It fell a little flat for me.
You know what sucks is that people compare that to Fantastic Mr.
That's what I
Fox.
did.
Wait,
Yeah.
Isle of Dogs is Wes Anderson, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Isle-
that's his animation style as well too. Yeah.
Isle of Dogs was more entertaining for me because I was more intrigued with the story. Fantastic Mr. Fox was kind of like a children's book.
That's
and,
yeah. That's
and
true.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think it's how
I
you
think-
consume the film.
When did you watch Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I watched it after Isle of Dogs.
No, I meant.
was
So how old were you when you watched?
Oh,
Fa-
recently. This was like maybe 2
that's
years
why,
ago.
okay.
Yeah.
You which one? You said Wes Anderson's first movie, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Rush. And I want to say it may be Rushmore.
What do you think it is?
I want to say Rushmore too.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Both wrong.
Really?
It's Bottle Rocket. It's
Bottle
called
Rocket?
Bottle Rocket is his first
Bottle
movie.
Rocket.
Wilson
Yeah.
and Luke
Owen-
Wilson.
That's
Owen
a
and Luke
great
Wilson.
one.
Yes,
that is a
right.
great one.
I
You mean to
forgot
tell me you
about
wouldn't
that.
like that film either?
I might like that one.
You would love
You
it.
might like Bottle Rocket
I might like
because
Bottle
it's
Rocket.
not because he doesn't have his style down yet, but those are actually actors that he uses as well too. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. 'Cause
Bottle-
he does use Owen Wilson a lot too.
Yeah, that was his first one, and it was in 1996.
Isn't Owen Wilson the Fox? No, he's
No,
not.
he's the- Oh, I don't even know
The
what
mole?
he.
That's
No,
the
he's
guy
the
who's
coach.
Batman. He's
He's the coach.
You're
yeah.
right.
jeez, what's his name? He was in the Flash at the end. Batman.
George Clooney.
George Clooney played the Fox.
That's right,
In
yeah.
Fantastic Mr.
You're right.
Fox.
You're
And
right.
Jason Schwartzman played his son.
So I will say my favorite film that Wes Anderson has done is Grand Budapest, and I only like it specifically because it adds a different style that most people don't notice.
Yeah.
And it's the use of aspect ratio.
Oh, okay.
So I love how you still get the color design. So like you get the pastels in present day, you get them a little less brighter when it goes back in time. But when he's telling the story in the past, the aspect ratio switches to 4:3 rather than 16:9.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. And it's like, yeah, that's storytelling for you right there. That's how you can differentiate the two. Why you really like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ru-
It's like
Rushmore
you're
was the
smiling
second
like
film.
you're
I
like,
really enjoy
It was,
that
it was
movie.
it's 2 years later.
Oh, okay, cool.
Then
Yeah.
I love when
it
Willem
makes
Dafoe
sense, 'cause
falls off the
that's when he
cliff.
starts-
Yeah.
Screaming.
That's when he starts getting, and that's also primarily
me
like
up.
where he gets his style from.
Yeah.
Is Rushmore.
you can tell.
I remember
can
Rushmore.
tell
I
that
remember
it's, like,
watching
fake.
that for on VHS. It was like a trailer for a movie, and I always see Rushmore, and I'm just like, that movie looks interesting. And I was like, because Bill Murray's in it, and then that was my introduction to Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Asteroid City?
No, I haven't seen
That
it
is
yet.
the most Wes Anderson film Wes Anderson has ever done.
That's the
I wouldn't
peak
doubt it.
Wes Anderson.
That is like if you're taking shrooms, that's the most amount of shrooms you could take before you die. No, don't.
I might. No, not shrooms.
Oh, you might get high and watch Asteroid City.
I might.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking about that. That might be a good watch that way.
Yeah.
You seen it before?
No. So I'm really interested to watch that.
You'll fall asleep.
Really?
Yeah, because
Slow.
when I mean that it's it's so slow.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm saying it's a Wes Anderson film, it's the Wes Anderson film.
Okay,
You'll
you know
die.
what? Maybe that's why.
So
It might be because nothing happens. I feel like nothing happens in a Wes Anderson film.
Yeah.
I
Also-
mean, that might be another reason why I don't like
Have
him.
you noticed that
few.
the conversations and dialogue of Wes Anderson films are like very much like this? Like if you and I are talking, it's like, okay, well, how was your day, Sean?
Very well. How was yours? As you turn to the camera and look.
It's great.
Yeah, and
if
then
you
there's
have
that
it like a
monologue.
3-second pause.
Yeah.
There's pauses in dialogue all
and
the
then
time.
it's just like a still shot where he kind of like when conversation's happening, when he does like the fast pace of it,
Yeah.
they're like centered in the screen, and they just go blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's it. And I know it's
He
Royal
wants the
Tenenbaums
background to
does
tell
that
the
well.
story. Again, not everyone's taste,
Yeah.
yeah.
but yeah, that's all it is. Wow, we went from Ridley Scott to Wes Anderson.
Not on
Interesting.
board.
Owen Wilson.
Culture
Thank you.
Crave says they have a list of 3 actors who have played Marvel roles the longest. Who do you think those 3 actors are? They're in
Marvel
their
roles?
20s. Marvel roles. So they have played Marvel roles the longest.
And they're in their 20s.
They've done this
Oh.
for 20 plus years.
Oh,
Blade?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes
Hugh
is one.
Jackman.
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman
Jackman.
is second.
Robert Downey Jr.
Nope.
No, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh.
Patrick Stewart
Yeah.
for 22 years. Hugh Jackman for 24. Wesley Snipes for 26.
And Wesley Snipes became relevant thanks to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yep. So that's how you got to do it. Before we get to the Beau DeMayo controversy, well, not even controversy,
Dude, that
but
was
like
bad.
this
It's
is
bad.
bad. So
It's bad.
we'll get into the lighter
It's
news
bad.
before we get into that because that's some heavy stuff. Per Twitter user Daniel RPK, who is a representative of RPK News on YouTube,
Sorry.
Marvel
You're gonna
Studios.
turn off the mic at least.
No, I it's because it's turning my back
Oh, okay.
to like lean forward.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm
Sorry.
shooting
He kept
this.
messing with the mic, and he
I
kept
know, I
hearing
heard
it.
it too, but I'm
No,
just
it's
like,
okay.
It's Nick's ADHD, dude.
It is my ADHD. I have
just
nothing to play with. I wasn't doing that. I was rocking the the mount.
Yeah, makes sense.
This is a lot easier.
Really
You're
quick,
still a
that
friend.
just reminded me. So, really quick. On Monday, I went to go take my niece and.
Oh, that you were
and
talking about
Mandy-
last night.
No, on Monday. No, I'm not talking about that. That's too funny. That's too funny to talk about. And if I try to explain that, it's not as.
It's not as funny.
It's
You
not
had
as
to
funny.
be their moment.
Yeah, but on Monday I took Mandy and my niece to go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
And so then my niece, mind you, she's like a hermit. So she stays the whole summer. She's basically been in the house
That's
playing PS5 and then also on her tablet. But she talks to her friends online.
Okay.
And so then I go, okay.
Sounds like my COVID.
So I go, okay, Monday, Mandy's over. I'm like, you want to go see Deadpool Wolverine? And we go, yeah, cool. And I looked at my niece and she's in the living room. I go like, hey, we're going to go see Deadpool Wolverine. You're coming with us. Your last day of the summer. I want you to see at least a movie that everyone has seen. And that way, you can have something to talk about. I don't know what kids talk about at school. So I go, at least you could talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. She goes, well, that's not what we're going to talk about. I'm like, okay, whatever. You're seeing the movie. So then we go to the theater, and then next thing you know, I have my niece right here, and then Mandy's right here, and then my niece is just like kind of like watching the movie. She's liking it, but then she starts doing like this. She starts. And stuff, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, it's just my ADHD." And she's like, and then random part of the movie, I'm watching it, and then next thing you know, my niece goes, bites my arm hard, and I go, "What the heck?" And she goes, "Sorry." And I'm like, and I tell Mandy, because Mandy's like, "What's going on?" She goes, "Kylie just bit me right now." She goes, "Oh, really?" She goes, "Yeah, she bit me hard." And then Mandy bites me after. I'm like, "God," I was like, "What the heck?" She goes, "You're just so soft. I want to bite you." And Kylie goes, "That's what I did it too." And I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "You guys both have ADHD or sometimes an ism or something like that." And I was just like, "What the heck?" And I told my my sister that, and she goes, "Yeah, she does that." And I'm like, "What the heck?"
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
Can we bite you?
No.
No.
That's not the
I want to.
That's not the moral of the story, Nick.
I mean, apparently it sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what? You said this story. Nick does not care that you did not consent to it. He will still find a way to bite you.
no means no, Brian.
Oh, Nick.
What am I, Beau DeMayo? Jesus.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Nick, I'm gonna tell you this, dude. I'm gonna tell you this. Do not lie to me when I say that somewhere deep in the back of your brain somewhere, you're not thinking about biting Rene right now. You want to. You're really trying to like. I was like, he said no.
My tisms were like, I don't know. She said he's soft.
I know.
She said he's soft.
I
Maybe
know.
when
There's
when I hug him later, I'll take a little nibble.
Just like,
There's
Yeah.
a reel that I gotta send you afterwards that I sent to Nick because it's like my friend on ADHD.
Yeah.
And it's like a little stick figure that's just kind of doing random stuff. I'll show you
yeah.
afterwards.
I'll show you another video. I think I showed it to you guys last night. It goes, if my ADHD was a person.
Okay.
It's so great.
Yeah. Oh my
It's
god.
so funny.
I thought when he showed me that video, I thought he was talking about me.
No, it's just
No,
Like
yours
I was just staring at both of them, just going, "Is this supposed to be me?"
That's not your ADHD. Your ADHD is
I
saying
did send it to
Renee's
Monica.
telling.
Monica did laugh emoji did. Yeah.
She's the one to talk. Her ADHD is worse than everybody's.
How are those nipple mushroom porcelain
Oh, yeah.
things?
Huh?
The nipple mushroom
Those
porcelain.
little jars. that
Oh,
she bought.
I because she bought mushroom,
Yeah.
mushroom jars
Yeah.
to put tea in. She was like, "Aren't they cute?" And then as soon it was so funny because she goes, "Look at these mushrooms that I bought at Target," and then immediately she goes, "They kind of look like nipples," and then she goes, "Dang it, they do look like nipples." Mind you, I have not sent a text yet. I was in the middle of a movie.
This is like
She is
constantly-
having this conversation with herself, then going, "Dang it, I can't unsee it. You're going to make fun of them when you get here."
It's so great because the way you say the text messages feels like the way that she's. You feel her emotions where she goes, "They look like nipples." It's like that whole like realization, and she feels defeated. and then he goes, and then it's like the sinking in. Damn, they do look like nipples. I can feel her pain. Like,
This is what Nick does to you, dude. He breaks you to the point where you start to question your own decisions and you mentally prepare yourself for the onslaught of
and
torture.
so then
At the very bottom, she's like, "When you get here, all you're gonna do is make fun of them, aren't you?"
And so then we asked him that, and he goes, "No, I'm not gonna say anything." And then I said, then that's when she's like, "Say something!" Like, I know you're gonna talk about it. Talk about it already.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh no, they look fine. I'm just not gonna say anything." And then Brian was like, "Oh, that's evil." And I go, "Yeah, I do it to you all the time."
Monica's nodding right now. I just listened to this podcast. She's like,
She just picked up the phone and is about to text Nick right now. She just stopped herself from sending the text because she called that right now. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're not that ADHD, dude. You're the ADHD where Rene tells a story about getting bitten and now you really want to bite him. You're still thinking
still
about it,
thinking-
which is kind. Yeah, I know you
still
are.
thinking
I'll
about
probably let you bite me. It's fine.
Now he doesn't want to anymore. He's not gonna
No,
want.
that's not true.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Now I have permission.
There's consent. Going
There's
back
consent
to,
involved.
There's comic strips.
Yeah.
All right, per Twitter user Daniel RPK from RPK News
about
on
consent.
YouTube, Marvel Studios cannot use Spider-Man villains if Sony used them first.
Oh, you know what? Customer told me about this the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
I
So
don't
that
know if
explains.
that's true.
It makes sense because for Spider-Man No Way Home, they used villains that were already established in the Sony universe.
Uh-huh.
That's why we don't have another Green Goblin established. We don't have another Electro established in the MCU.
That makes
and
sense.
stuff like that. That's why we're using villains like we didn't.
Shocker.
Shocker. We never had Mysterio. We also never had Vulture. So we're using villains that were talked about to happen in future Sony movies for Spider-Man, but now they're used in MCU.
Which also means you can't have a Craven then.
No,
Can't have a Rhino.
can't have
Can't have
Morbius.
Rhino.
No.
Morbius.
Thank
Which
God.
they could do Scorpion.
Scorpion,
They
was already
established
established,
Scorpion,
yeah.
but we never seen him in the full-fledged.
You know what I want?
So
I
no
want.
Venom.
There's talks that there might be Venom, but I don't know.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
How do you explain the
Eventually.
black suit?
Easy. It's like an Eternal. You just forget about it and hope everybody else does.
You wait
Still
years.
The
You wait
symbiote
years.
came from the Celestial. Watch.
That was-
Well, no, because remember at in 2, they show the symbiote that was supposed to be in our world get
Well,
captured.
they
in
what is
2.
it? And they kind of not retconned it, but they showed it in what is it?
In the new Venom,
the new Venom,
the new
the-
Venom 3,
In Venom 3,
final dance.
they like capture that little speck of the symbiote. So I don't know if that's them retconning
Retconning
it.
it?
Yeah,
A
like-
Marvel writer said, like, this is how we can get it, guys. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah.
And then Sony was just like, no.
Right?
No. This is ours.
Yeah.
That's stupid. No,
That kinda
don't
sucks.
don't you put those ideas out
What do you
there.
mean?
The symbiote comes from the Celestial.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's gonna
stupid.
happen.
No,
well,
it's-
we're already getting
I would- I
adamantium from the
wouldn't doubt it.
Celestial.
That I can
Yeah.
accept.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna accept the symbiote.
We're gonna get
attack.
every single alien thing from a Celestial.
That would make sense. I'm like,
No.
you're on Earth.
Phoenix
Just have
Force,
it do it.
Celestial. Like,
Oh, see, now you take it back.
Well, no, I mean like, okay, we have the Celestial on Earth. Let's have other entities that like harvest on dead corpses, and now they're gonna have to go to Earth. You know, so like
The
they could
Celestials
use
can
the Celestial,
connect, which I'm fine with because keep in
one
mind
big
Eternals.
MacGuffin.
Yeah, because the Eternals teased another Celestial in space,
Mm-hmm.
so it's fine. I get that.
Now I want a Hollow Earth in the Marvel world.
that'd probably be Savage Land.
Yeah, because wherever the Celestial came from,
Mm-hmm.
he was in the middle of the Earth and then left, and now he's in the Atlantic Sea.
What did Eternals say? That's the planets, the giant celestial being from Eternals plant seeds and planets, and that's an eternal is born
it's like-
or a celestial.
And then like
celestial.
the
Yeah.
rocks land on it, and then like they need to advance life to a certain point, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the Celestial's born.
Yeah.
I hate the idea of
Growing
oh
log on.
yeah, a planet has a living being that's gonna hatch and stuff, because that means like okay, that's never gonna happen if it's on Earth,
Yeah.
because the protagonist has to
Stop.
it and
Yeah.
stuff. They did that for what is it, Energon.
Yeah.
For last night for Transformers, which I that was so stupid, because it's like okay, then that means we're never gonna see Energon. Like
Yeah.
we're never gonna see him if that's the case.
Because the
he
center
was
of the
in-
Earth-
And
he
they
was-
rewrote that.
they rewrote that in
Yeah.
Beast. Was it Beast?
Bumblebee?
Yeah, no, in the new latest.
Oh, Beast
Transformers.
Wars.
Yeah, that Energon was coming to Earth instead. They did the whole Galactus thing and
because
stuff.
Cybertron
Yeah.
is still a planet, or is still their own
Yeah,
planet.
but in the Bayverse, he was the planet.
Yeah, he was inside Earth and stuff. It's like,
Transformers
the
1
Decepticons
is
are trying to
in the
brag.
Bayverse. Transformers 1, right?
Yeah,
The
they
one?
talked about
Oh,
Cybertron, but
Transformers, you mean the animated movie?
The one that's going to come out. It's,
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
connected
Cyberverse.
to.
Yeah.
I don't know if is it connected to the
It
Bayverse?
is.
No,
You
it's-
see Megatron turning into the Megatron from the Transformer Michael Bay movie.
I did
really?
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
And I was like, oh, so this
Oh,
is
if it's a prequel, that's interesting.
gotta mark it down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need a timestamp.
46.
4603.
Who cussed? I don't even.
I
Was
It was
it me?
it was Sean.
Oh, what did you say?
SH.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it again. I was trying to make you
As
say
soon
it.
as soon as you said what did you say, I was like, I hate you so much.
I try to avoid them.
You're a monster.
Sorry.
Dude. You're such a monster.
I got you marked down. Don't worry. All right, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But
Yeah.
moving on to other Marvel news. This is the stuff that Nick was teasing about earlier. But Bo DeMeo, one of the producers of X-Men 97, this is how it started out. So he had spoken out earlier.
Hang on. I want to see if they can guess. It was something with sexual
Hang on.
misconduct.
Not yet.
But what do you think it was?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Because
OnlyFans.
because he had spoken out earlier this week
I was right.
about being
I
fired.
just guessed.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be, why did Disney fire a
Bo DeMeo,
producer?
yeah.
And so a lot of the people thought that Disney was just outright ignoring whatever was going on, and they just fired him because they also pulled his credits from season 2. So
Yes.
he's no
Yeah.
longer
Yeah.
getting credit for season 2. But going back to what Nick said, what were the reasons he got fired? And it has to do with sexual misconduct.
What do you think? he
Talking
did?
with the minor.
Close.
Of course, it has to do with the minor.
Mm,
That's the flavor of this year. Everyone's.
It wasn't-
Flavor of this year.
Think about it, dude. Like all the
Why do
all
you
the,
say
all,
it that
all
way?
the
He's
streamers,
not wrong.
all the
Think
streamers,
about
it.
they're getting the predators. They're beating them up. Everyone's coming out as a predator.
All
Like,
right, Mr. Beast, chill.
Case in point. Well, I don't know how.
Who's catching predators now? Is
Vitaly?
YouTuber? Yeah,
Vitaly.
That
I used to
was
watch
that
Vitaly
was-
back
that
in
He was
the
good.
Yeah.
He was good.
He was funny.
He was funny as a prankster, and
Yeah.
then when he got more famous, it got into his head.
He was doing roids heavily,
Yeah.
and then that
Okay,
just kind of
so
killed him.
so you're close, but what do you think it is? Because I know what it is.
So there's 3 that I found, and
3?
There's 3 reasons why
Oh, okay.
Disney has said these are the claims that Disney has made.
Claims.
One of them I'll give you right off the bat, which was he emotionally and physically abused staffers.
Oh,
Okay,
But he got
Ob-
results. The show was great. he got results.
At what cost?
Harder,
Right.
draw faster,
right.
redo it again.
I mean,
Give him a midriff.
I can totally see. I could see him yelling harder, harder. What
all
was-
right. Second reason, I'll let you guys guess the bigger one, which I think is a lot.
That was weird.
That one is weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
So the second one is he groped assistants multiple times.
Yes.
Okay, so we have physical and emotional abuse and groping.
What is up with
Well, I mean,
people
that
and
I
abusing
feel like
their
that's connected to the physical abuse.
Yeah. What would be the biggest, most absurd reason for getting fired?
I'm not
Bestiality.
gonna. No, I'm not gonna lie. That was yes, get fired for that. But no, he's not doing that.
Oh.
He's not banging Beast in the back. It's also kind of funny. It's so ridiculous. It's
I
kind of
wouldn't
funny.
say it's funny because if,
No,
it,
no, no.
if it happened to me, I'd be pissed off and it'd
I-
be like, the hell's wrong with you?
I know, and I get that.
Catfishing.
So,
No.
But it has to do with photography.
It does have to do with photography.
Oh gosh.
He
You want me to
was
tell you guys?
he was taking pictures of himself naked in superhero poses and then sending them to male staffers.
To young,
Young male
male
staffers.
staffers for inspiration.
Here's his Wolverine when his testicles are just
Dong
hanging between
hanging
his
out.
legs.
Yeah. Dang.
What was his Charles Xavier?
Sitting naked on a wheelchair.
It's just him in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
With his legs spread.
Holding his like he's just like
No, he's
or like
he's
he's
not touching up here.
He's putting it up to the other head. He's just.
to the other head.
Well, that's how they got the inspiration for Magneto.
Oh my
Just-
god, dude.
In his thong.
Oh boy.
Here's this.
Okay, but you see what I mean by it's kind of funny. It's really weird.
I think he wasn't doing. He's probably doing superhero poses, but he was doing X-Men character poses.
It was specifically X-Men character
Yeah.
poses. But why would you do it naked?
Why would you do it in general?
Yeah, why would you forward it to the staff as well? Like, come on, it's
That's
Disney. They're-
another
But it was
thing,
also
too.
only to the male staff. Like he was like, "Oh, I would offend the women if I said this."
What's his sexual orientation?
Is he? Is he gay?
I can look it up.
I think he's gay.
I thought so. I
I
heard
thought he
something.
was.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why he
Because you
was-
know why? I saw when he got fired from season 1 or from the show, a lot of the X-Men group were defending him. They were just like, "Oh yeah, he probably got wrongfully accused. Probably something like Disney was, blah 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 and stuff like that." They were being, tightwads.
I mean, I can see where the humor is.
Mhm.
People can find the humor. It sucks.
You can kind of laugh at it,
I can laugh at the
Yeah.
absurdity of how
but at someone's
stupid it
expense.
is.
Yeah.
But like also, it's not the first time I've heard of people doing this. Like
Well,
Adam
it's-
Kovic from Funhouse got laid
That's-
off for the same reason.
So that's interesting too, that people in this position, when they have an opportunity like this, you think, okay, cool, I'm going to be producing and helping with the most successful recent animated show that Marvel and Disney have put out. I'm not going to screw this up. I shouldn't screw this up.
You shouldn't.
No, but yet people
They
still
do.
act like this.
Yeah.
And then are shocked when they're caught.
Are they
Like,
shocked,
what-
or
no.
do you think that they're like? 'cause
No,
that's-
but no, because
trying to
no,
downplay
no,
it.
No, that's the thing. He wouldn't have done it thinking that it wouldn't bite him in the butt. That's the thing. He wouldn't have sent out all those pictures thinking
there was a thrill.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
There was a thrill, and he honestly thought he had his job secured.
I just find it funny that when he did get fired, his biggest complaint is that they're pulling my credits from the X-Men 97 season 2. Like that makes no sense. It's like, no, I think that you should. Like, I'll put it this way: this isn't like as big as murder, but granted, you're doing some pretty stupid stuff.
That's the thing. You don't do
Right.
that at a workplace.
no, there's
That's the
limits.
thing. Yeah.
There's limits, and it doesn't mention that it was consensual. We don't know to the extent of how far these photos were going or what he was trying to aim with it.
Even if it was consensual, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, it was. Someone said, "Yes, send me that." It's still gonna get passed around. It's still people are gonna
Exactly.
talk.
Yeah.
People are, it's gonna be word around the water cooler and stuff like that. And Disney, everyone knows Disney has a zero tolerance of any sort of controversy, regardless of what it is.
In all fairness, most studios have a zero tolerance now.
That's the thing.
After like the Weinstein stuff and everything else, all studios have a zero tolerance. Even if there's an allegation.
Yeah, don't get alligated. Don't get any sort of controversy. Don't be involved.
Like even if you're like
Mess with
slightly,
nobody.
even if
Yeah.
even if you were in the building, you should probably get worried that you're gonna get fired.
So how far was his extent, or how far was his reach that he got literally laid off or fired one season into a show? That means that he must have been doing something god awful for them to have catch it this early.
Before the show came out.
Before season 2 came out.
Somebody must have been doing an investigation internally.
Probably.
I can
That's
see that.
that's probably the reason why they let him go so quick before, because somebody had probably spoken up and said, "This is what's going on,
Yeah.
and this is unacceptable." Like somebody must have gotten pissed.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because that's the thing, though, is that there's now this new thing in Hollywood, which is very good, of, hey, this is wrong. I don't feel safe at work, and I'm going to report it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies now are saying, if you ever feel uncomfortable, we need you to tell us. Like, immediately.
Yeah.
Especially Disney. Disney doesn't want any part of this.
No.
And it's also interesting, too, because it kind of sounds like they waited a really long time.
This is not that long, Nick. For
3 months?
For someone, Nick.
It's been almost 4 months.
there's
Probably had to wait for
shows,
contracts.
there's
An
production,
NDA something.
Yeah.
Had to have like closed.
there's production
So they
companies
talk.
that literally don't spend like they take like 2, 3, 4 years
Well-
to even like release anything publicly about sexual harassment. This is like you said, 3 months time.
Well, that's what I mean though, is that
It's fast.
it's 3 to 4
Yeah.
months. It's 3 to 4 months. So that must have, if it was that quickly, there must have been a lot of evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And props to the department for like actually getting the guy out, because that goes to show it's like there should be zero tolerance for this kind of behavior. There shouldn't be people working in studios like that feeling like Rene said, having that power to do what they're doing. That this just makes no sense. Shut it down. Why are people feeling that sort of power? What gives them that power?
Yeah.
It's an ego trip.
Invincibility?
It's an ego trip.
Then shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
He probably thought because he was getting so much money and because he had so much control in the room that he could do whatever he wanted. He was untouchable.
Shut it
Yeah.
down immediately. Like
No, yeah,
you
I
should-
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any of that.
makes no sense. But
It's crazy.
I didn't know he worked on Moon Knight. He worked on
wow.
The Witcher, Moon Knight, Star Trek,
which one?
Strange New Worlds.
Wow.
He also worked on the League of Legends. He worked on a couple of League of Legends stuff, the originals, and After the Storm.
Shame, but do stupid things.
Win stupid
Yes.
prizes.
There you go.
Yeah.
No shame.
Honestly, his filmography, he screwed himself because his
Yeah.
filmography is not big. He only has 9 projects under his belt.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah, and if he didn't do what he did, X-Men '97, that would have helped him. That would have.
Oh, he would have blown up.
Yeah, he would have.
Big time.
More studios would have been like, "Can you come to us?" But now it's like, "Stay the f away."
Just don't deal with it.
Yeah.
No.
This isn't going to stop people from still acting like this.
No,
though,
I know,
in
but
the
like I said-
industry,
No,
you
it
know?
won't. That's
They always think like
that's the
it'll
terrible
never
thing.
happen to me because I'm safe and I know how to hide
That's
it.
ridiculous, though. Like, I just think it's
it's-
egregious.
Yeah, it's a really sick mentality.
Go through the
That when people-
process,
yeah.
find the evidence, and shut it down when you can. It's
Yeah.
point as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do feel I can see them firing him early if there was just allegations. But the fact that they're taking his name off of season 2 and they're doing everything else,
They're scrubbing him.
yeah, they're scrubbing him
Something.
from
He must have
everything.
done
Like,
something a lot
yeah, they're
bigger.
scorched earthing him.
So, I know that he said that he was working on season 2 when season 1 was about to air. They were
Yeah.
working on it. So, did they have to? Are they completely scrapping his
No.
plans? Or are
No.
they moving forward with it?
I
Well,
think
that's the weird thing though, is because I'm not sure, because I know according to the Writers Guild, if he did anything, like
Yeah.
even a couple episodes, he has to be credited
Yeah.
no matter what.
is that an actual thing?
Yeah,
right.
because that was the same.
that's-
Because that was the same thing with what's his name, the
Loophole it. Just change like an idea or two from the original writing.
well
first.
that was the original thing when they were doing what's it called, Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah, they had to credit
Edgar Wright.
as a writing.
as he did a pass,
Yeah.
because he did a couple of passes and they took some of the ideas from his original pass and they put it into the movie. So Edgar Wright had to get credited for writing credits.
So legally, that's the thing. If even an idea or a moment from your original script is used, you still have to get credit.
What's his official title for X-Men '97?
Creator, and he was showrunner, creator, and writer.
So he'll probably get, if he wrote an episode and they use it, obviously he's gonna get credited.
But if they're wiping everything,
Yeah.
he probably is going to get writing credit. I can see him getting writing
I
credit.
don't think
but
he'll
him-
get a main credit, but they'll probably credit him at the end.
I think he's
as
going to get
like-
a story credit.
Yeah.
Mm.
He'll get a story
He'll
credit,
probably get
but
a
not.
story credit. It'll pop up. Obviously, he'll get it'll pop up his IMDb and stuff.
It's
That's what he
fine,
did,
but
yeah.
he screwed himself with
Because
the
it sounds like what they were doing is maybe they were structuring
Yeah.
what's going to happen in '97 for season 2, and then that's when he got fired.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't actually written episodes; it was just they were structuring. This is going to go here. This is the episode that's going to go this and this.
Aren't they already talking about what's going to be for, or speculating what's going to be for season 2
Mhm.
of X-Men?
They're already
talking about 3.
yeah, they're already talking about season
Oh,
3.
dang.
I think they're almost done with season 2.
They're more than halfway done with the voice acting of season 2. So the story's pretty much done. They're gonna do some edits. They can just quickly change a couple things here and there for that.
Are we getting Apocalypse or are we getting?
I
I wanna-
do we have
already
any
teased
ideas?
by the end of
It was
season 1.
at the end of season 1. Apocalypse
Yeah.
shows up. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Did you not finish '97?
I haven't seen any of it.
It's really good. It's really good.
I need Disney Plus.
It's a
right
shame.
You're on the
It-
show now, Sean. Things have to change.
now. I know. I need to get a Disney Plus subscription.
It is.
I mean, we can let you borrow it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
It's-
that's true.
or-
Well, I mean, no. He can get his own account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can just
Or just text Nick.
Just cross the street. We'll
Across the street. That's
just cross the street and
look.
we'll watch it
I'm
together.
gonna be in my boxers. I'm gonna have my belly out, and I'm gonna be just chilling then.
Yeah, dude. My hands will be down my pants. I don't know what the difference is.
All right, cool.
We'll be.
We'll do it back to back.
On me.
Yeah, specifically, like I said, down my pants, not yours.
That is no superhero poses.
I've been wanting to watch it.
I,
Excited. I want to watch it.
oh,
I wanna-
97. Oh, 97.
No. Of course not. Well,
I knew what you meant.
I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that drivel.
These guys went the dirty route.
They did.
You just don't say that after he says my hands are going to be down his pants. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Oh, I've been wanting to watch that."
I've been wanting to watch that. Yeah.
In all fairness, I can totally see Sean from his. I can see Sean from his apartment just with binoculars looking at my window.
Disturbia style.
Yeah, just going like, "Walk in front, walk in front."
Oh my gosh. What time? What's the time on the recording?
1 hour 45 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
Comic strips is over and done with. Let's talk about Alien Romulus. So,
Musician.
It's
go for
Rami.
it. It's
Amazing movie, fantastic. Loved every second of it. I was biting my nails. I was at the edge of my seat.
And
I
you
felt
got the last popcorn
face
button,
hugger.
didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Where is it?
I did.
Where's it?
Up my keister.
That's what I thought.
You know what was
No,
funny
That's
though?
why I'm walking all crooked.
You know
It's not my back.
you know what's
Got a
super.
skull in my butt.
You know what's super funny though? He at the very end of Romulus, we walked to the cars, and then Brian goes, "Where was Sean that he got a popcorn bucket?" And I'm like, "Sean didn't get a popcorn bucket." And he goes, "But in the chat, he says he got the last one." I'm like, "That's a joke, Brian."
So I thought that you did.
He was like, "Oh, I legitimately thought he got a popcorn
So I
bucket."
thought that you did because I was supposed to meet with my cousin at 8 and leave his place by 8:30 to
Yeah.
get to the film by 9. But we ended up staying till 9, so I literally rushed it from Santa Fe Springs to Puente Hills in half an hour. And I made it. I only lost like the first 3-4 minutes of the film.
Okay.
Maybe 5.
5
I think
minutes
It was
of
like 5
it.
minutes.
Yeah, and what pissed me off, where I thought that there was a joke, but then I started believing it, was by the time I got there by 9, people were walking out of theaters with their popcorn buckets. But it comes out that Nick tells me that he was told by staffers there at Puente Hills, "Oh, we sold out by 12." So how do you sell out by 12, but people in the theater still had popcorn buckets at 8,
Yeah.
9:30?
Lies.
It's pissing me off.
No, it didn't. It didn't make sense. And then we walked in, and then they were like, "Oh, we also ran out of the badges, the Wayland badges.
Oh, cool.
We didn't get them. They were sold out." And I was like, "How do you not have enough for each showing today?"
Yeah.
You would
It just
imagine,
came out this week.
but you would imagine that the amount that you would have gotten would have been for the 4 showings you have today.
Yeah.
So it's okay, cool. There's 100 seats inside that thing. Here's 100, 100, 100. So that way every person that comes in gets them. By the time we got there, mind you, me and Rene showed up half an hour early.
As specified per the employees there.
Because the last time when we went for Wolverine, they didn't let them in because they showed up an hour early to go buy stuff. And the employees said, "We won't allow anybody in to a movie until half an hour before showtime." So we were like, okay, well, that's what they told us last time, so let's show up half an hour early.
Yeah.
So we showed up half an hour early. They let us in, and they were like, "We don't have any more of the badges." And then we walked over to the popcorn bucket, and the guy was like, "Nah, man, we don't got any." I'm like, what the heck? So because we were there half an hour early, I just spent the time.
Don't.
No.
Don't say anything else.
I was saying I was spent the rest of the time calling other AMCs.
And leave it at that. Leave it at that.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
I feel like there's more to the story
There's a secret.
than-
There's a secret. So that's all we needed. That's all you can tell people.
We don't want the viewers knowing our
We
secret.
don't want I don't want the viewers knowing the secret because I want my popcorn buckets.
Gatekeeper.
Yes, I want my popcorn buckets.
Yeah,
Sean.
Are you
we
gonna get the claptrap one?
we
No.
actually did figure out a couple of theaters that we can get them at.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, there's a few. We'll tell you after. There,
Yeah.
because I made some phone calls and then he made some phone calls this morning and they confirmed what I was saying and then he went to go get it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let me introduce you to the trilogy of the Bagussi.
The Bagussi.
Bagussi.
Let me behold and feast.
Behold, Bagussi 1.
Yes,
Dune
a
2
classic.
popcorn bucket. The classic design, easy access, hole big enough for any size.
Looks phallic. I love it.
And sensory tentacles for anyone's pleasure, right? Now, this next Bagussi,
I think it's still too gaping for me.
Bagussi 2. And I just want to thank
Junior.
friend of the show, Junior, who graciously texted me like 2 days ago. He was just like, "Hey, call me real quick." because we went to his birthday party, and I was talking to him about how he really wanted the Wolverine popcorn bucket, and I was just like, dude, I'm so sad that we couldn't get it. He ended up getting one. Calls me up 2 days, like 2-3 days later, says, hey, I have mine. I'm not gonna be displaying it. Do you want it? And so he gifted me Gussie 2, The Awakening.
The Awakening. Electric Boogaloo.
It's so wide.
So we have the Wolverine popcorn bucket.
Does your hand fit in there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Junior. Thank you so much. Central City Tattoos. We've shouted him out all the time. He is he's on First Street in, what's that city called again?
La Habra, isn't it?
La Habra. So where the Costco at La Habra is at, just go to First Street. Literally the tattoo shop that you see right there. I'll actually link his stuff down below. Again, if you guys are interested in tattoos, does sales all the times. Does piercings as well.
Yes.
So shout out to you and your tattoo shop and everyone there. Junior, thank you so much for Gussie 2.
He's also at Knott's Berry Farm on Thursdays.
Thank you. Knott's Berry Farm sells
stickers, patches, and prints.
Yes. And actually, after I'm done with this, because we do got to get with Alien Romulus, I will show you guys the patch and pins that he sells because I have them in my bag. Ladies and gentlemen,
I want to take the baby out of it.
Gussie 3.
Why is there a baby in it?
Gussie 3 Resurrection.
Okay, so here's my thing. Are the arms opposable?
Just like four
or just
of them.
just the top four?
Just the top 4.
That's lazy.
I know.
So this is my only complaint. The face hugger looks pale, but other than that, I like this design a lot better than the one that Regal has, which is a tube and the little face hugger.
You know what the thing is? I was talking to Rene earlier about it. I was talking to Rene yesterday about it when we went to AMC. I feel that yes, they are getting clever with these popcorn buckets, but also some of them are failing in its most basic of a function of
Holding
it should hold popcorn.
Yeah.
Because all of these are actual buckets.
Yeah.
We saw the claptrap one. Dude, it maybe holds like
A little portion.
a
I
little
saw that.
portion
I'm like,
of popcorn in it.
what?
And even the the Ghostbusters one, it probably wouldn't hold that much popcorn in it or anything like that. I just think it's so weird that they get so intricate with these designs, but
Bring
they
it closer.
don't. Yeah, bring it closer so that way we can see it because the lights.
So just to do a quick little shout out to Junior, this is the Godzilla patch that he just designed about a month ago, and his pin designs is this TMNT one that you see here, and the little Charmander in the Charizard costume. So if you guys are interested, everything will be in the link below.
I like
Yeah.
the Charmander one.
we
That's
did
a cool idea.
We did get lucky though because on the way out I did find a patch on the floor.
Oh,
You found it on the floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were probably like handing them out like, oh, can I get 2? Can
No,
I get 3?
I
Here you
think
go. Yeah,
I'm almost
sure.
positive that the staff took them all. I'm like
Probably.
90% sure
Yeah.
that staff
Look,
were taking handfuls.
I'm going to say this before we get into reviewing Alien Romulus. I'm not going to accuse
I am.
every Puente Hills staffer that works there because you have your decent ones and your good ones
Yeah.
that actually care. But I will say that Puente Hills AMC, as much as it is the better theater to go to,
it's a
because
really
got
nice theater.
recliners in the IMAX theaters, you have the Dolby cinema as well on there, so you have your options and it's accessible, right? How do you run out of buckets at 12 p.m. every single time it's popular? And how do you run out of things to give out when they're promos for watching a film throughout the whole day?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be on the first day. It's supposed to be first day you get this.
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
it makes
Yeah.
no sense. So
Were they selling them prior to the movie too? Like
no,
a
the
week
patches.
or two
So
before?
I didn't bring the patch because I put it on the bag and it came off.
It's peeling,
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
it's
have
peeling.
to put fabric glue on it. But
Yeah.
it's a weight. It's a.
I can put a
Wayman
picture right here
Yeah.
of what it looks like. Yeah.
It's a rubber patch that you can put on anything. It looks really sick, but again, those patches don't take up that much room. I can guarantee you, they probably
a box
every
of them was
box-
probably 200.
200. You're only gonna get
Easy.
one box per theater.
Easy 200 because they were thin. They were paper thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had huge boxes of them and everything else.
Nah, they're
And
getting clever. They're pocketing it and
they-
selling it on eBay.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's the only thing that made sense.
Yeah. So I don't want to be a Karen, but
Scalpers. I
Yeah.
hate them.
Yeah.
I
But-
hate
Yeah,
scalpers.
and I was saying the same thing for popcorn buckets too, is that what they're probably doing is when they come in, they get like 4 or 5 of them, and then they buy them,
Yeah.
and then they put them in the back, and then when they get off their shift, They take them home and then they scalp them and they sell them for like, $80, $90.
AMC Puente Hills, get your crap together, dude. That's not okay. And,
Yeah.
And we'll go there because reclining seats in IMAX. That's
It's okay.
great.
I know where to get mine now. I know where to get my stuff now.
trust me, no.
We
Yeah.
know where to get our stuff now.
Yeah, we got our places. So.
Yeah.
Other AMC, thank you.
Yeah.
You're the man. Can't tell you, but you know who you are.
I like the one in Burbank a lot. That AMC, that was
Yeah,
my
it's
just
go-to.
far.
Don't give
That same
locations.
patch is being sold on eBay right now for like $20.
Oh,
$20.
$20.
How many listings are there?
probably a lot.
There's a lot. I'm counting 1, 2, 3.
People
4,
probably got
5.
multiples though.
5 right now. Yeah.
Probably using bots to sell them too.
Yeah.
Of course.
It takes no effort.
So let's get into Alien Romulus. Let's get into the movie. You sure you don't mind spoilers?
No, not at all.
Okay. So, Alien Romulus. Nick came out of this movie upset that I said something, and you're like, he's
Can I
right.
see the popcorn bucket? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I never got the chance to look at it.
Which was, when the movie finished, I said, Acts 1 and 2, phenomenal.
Yes.
Great. So much fun.
100% agree.
Act 3, why?
Yeah.
Literally, why?
The Act 3 feels like the movie went, how do we top Act 1 and 2?
Yeah.
And then they went, Resurrection was a movie.
And 3.
And 3 was a movie.
Remember
Why
that
don't we
one
just
thing in
do
3?
those?
Remember that one thing in Resurrection?
Yeah.
I wish that all the arms were opposable though.
That's so cool. I did not notice that.
Yeah.
It's only those top 4. That's what I mean though. I wish it was all the arms.
I wish you can take it off.
Yeah.
I can make it look more grimy if you want. I have a wash for my Warhammer models, and it's just like a
That might
thin,
be
and it
cool.
looks
That
like
actually might look pretty sick.
Once I
Shade
build the
a
display
little
for
bit.
it, yeah.
I think you'd have,
Little shade.
but I would.
That's going in the nursery.
Just kidding. Oh my god.
Diapers are gonna be.
Wait,
They're
dude.
not gonna be
no,
scared.
You know what would be great? Just if you can snap it off and then you put it as like the thing that hangs over the crib.
Do you forget what
That's-
face hugger? Do you forget I have a replica of a face hugger?
You do.
I
Just do
do.
that. Let's just do that.
I have a movie
we'll make,
prop.
We'll
You
make
can
a
ask
thing.
Whamstan, see if he can print out, get the dimensions of the bucket, and he can print out like something to hold it so it looks like this. Watch, you with me? So you display it like this, something that goes underneath.
That's
it's
not a bad
flat,
idea.
And he can totally 3D print that.
Yeah, that's
there you
not. No, it. That's a
cool
great
way,
idea.
That's a cool way of displaying it instead of having it be on the side like
A
that.
popcorn bucket holder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stamp. That's not a bad idea.
You do the same thing for the Wolverine one.
Matt,
That's
you
tr-
heard Sean.
In all fairness, I think that's probably how you should display all of those,
Yeah.
Like this.
like sideways. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I feel like the Dune one's fine.
The Dune one is cool,
Yeah.
but I think Wolverine is better
Definitely.
sideways
But Gussie too.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
how would you like display that? But
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah,
it's all
having
round.
that.
All right, well let's send.
Let's talk to Matt.
Yeah, we'll talk to Matt. We'll talk to Matt.
popcorn
I
bucket
wanna-
displays.
There you go.
Yeah.
Xenomorph picture is nice on her.
It-
too.
That's sick, right?
I do like the gloss on that bucket.
Yeah.
Literally went to during my lunch hour to
It
go
was
get
so
it.
funny.
And the guy asked me, he's like, "Do you want the bucket and the popcorn?" I'm like, "You know what? Give the popcorn to someone else."
That would have been
like-
a great snack.
Right?
I know.
You know what's
One
funny?
day.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I love popcorn buckets. I hate movie theater popcorn.
What?
Yeah. I love it when it's freshly popped.
Yeah.
But because there's always like we go late, the popcorn's kind of stale already.
I like stale popcorn. Like
I do.
popcorn.
I do like movie popcorn when it's been sitting for a little bit.
My mom is a nut for popcorn.
Yeah, I
She-
know.
she
when
was
she
like-
when you did
Oh, yeah.
critical
So is Mandy,
cheese here.
yeah. So is Mandy.
I used to be.
Um,
Sorry to hear
rest
that.
in peace.
I miss
I
popcorn.
know.
Do you know how much I miss popcorn?
A lot.
I miss it so much.
You can't do anything to fix it.
Unless
sucks.
unless I have a poop bag. You want me to have a poop bag? I can get myself a poop bag and I can eat popcorn again.
Did I have
You
to
would
be
have-
the one responsible?
You would have 2 buttholes. Right?
Yes.
Oh,
That sucks.
that sucks.
Yeah, and I would smell like poo all the time. It's not great.
Let's get back into Alien Romulus. We got
No, let's talk about
distracted.
the second butthole. This is more interesting.
The second buckle was what happened in Alien Romulus Act 3.
Well, while
Oh
he's
my god, there were so many.
while he's gone, let's talk about the ending.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm down for that.
He's-
Okay,
he's in the
so,
restroom.
Spoilers, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back. So, we're going to talk about Act 3 because that's a big one. So,
And Sean's gone.
Act 3. Act 3, we get a humanoid xenomorph.
That is the dumbest thing I've seen.
You know what? As
Yeah.
stupid
I
as
was
it is,
underwhelmed.
I was underwhelmed. I still liked it a little bit.
You know who?
Of course
You,
did.
you know what? You know what's really funny though? He looked kind of like the lanky wrestler that just always wears like the tighty whities.
Yeah.
Give him a black trench coat.
Dude, if you give him a black trench coat, he looks like the dude from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's shirtless.
So,
Like, if you give him a
Kid-
black trench
Let me, Damn it, Sean! You couldn't be in the restroom for longer. All right, so I'm gonna try to
But that's
talk in
funny.
code.
Oh God!
I'm gonna try to talk in code for Act 3.
Yeah.
Act 3 exists because
Oh.
it needs to make sense in the lore.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that thing exists.
Go ahead and talk about Act 3. It's
Are
fine.
you sure?
I am sure. Green light.
All right. Cool.
All
There's-
right.
Full send. Full
there was
send.
a humanoid xenomorph.
At the end of the movie.
So,
You want to see a picture? I'll look it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Let me see it.
So basically, from a lore perspective, because they bring back the serum or the black
liquid.
ooze from Prometheus, and they're working on it to try to extract the benefits of it, we already know that this ooze molecularly changes the genetics of what it
destroys
enters.
it, yeah.
Exactly. So in the movie, we have one of the surviving people who's pregnant. And she's she's critically injured.
Yeah.
And she's told that if she injects herself with the venom or the serum,
It's a chance that she could survive.
Did
yes,
the synth tell
because
her
it
to do
could-
that?
Huh?
Did the synth tell her to
Yes.
do that?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. So when she injects herself, she gets put in the cryopod, basically told by the other surviving person, hey, you know what? We're going to put you in cryo. 9 years it'll take to get to this new place that we're going to, and that's where we're going to be at. But because the serum quickly enhances the reproductive system, she gives birth to an alien egg, which then hatches into a humanoid xenomorph.
Did it like split her open when it came out?
So
No.
we were wondering what Fede Alvarez meant by the most grotesque scene you could possibly
I feel like
imagine.
that was probably it.
That was it. Which, granted, to me, yes, because Andy's pregnant, and it's so interesting to kind of think that a movie about this is all of a sudden like, oh yeah, no, that's how pregnancy works.
Yeah.
That's messed up. No, thank God Andy didn't watch it. But it didn't show anything. It just
No?
she's just screaming and then just blood splatter
And
and
egg
oh,
comes
an
so
egg comes out.
grotesque.
And then the egg comes out of her. Yeah.
And then she pulls the umbilical cord out with her hands and rips it, and that's
Yeah.
it. And the umbilical cord is like a hose, basically.
I feel like she should have just melted.
Or like have her like hips like
Well, because they show
dislodged and,
they
like,
show that the egg that she gives birth to is filled with the acid.
Yes.
Like it's filled with acid, and then she ripped the cord,
and then
and there's no acid. It was just blood.
But what makes it weird is that, and again, it could be the adrenaline. She was gonna die anyways, which she does, but she's
bled
able
out?
to, because her vagina ripped.
yeah.
Like there's no vagina and asshole
It's not
anymore.
even
It's
it's
one
not
thing.
one
Well,
hole.
not
That
only
happens
not
in
only
birth,
that, but
too.
also the
That
xenomorph
happens
did
in actual
vampire.
birth.
I know it does. Yeah.
Okay.
He did vampire because like he picks her up and then
I
like
gotta be strong.
I know.
it looked like he was
Don't
drinking
look
her
down there,
blood,
Yes, I know.
which I thought was
Don't
weird.
look.
He didn't like
yeah.
it
It stayed in there.
it like it was drinking her.
So there's a scene where she touches
That's
her
new.
chest
Uh-huh.
and she pulls out her hand and it's like oozing. So I'm thinking that she's secreting like nutrients, like she's breastfeeding.
Oh,
And
the
that's
nectar.
Probably, yeah, and that's probably what the
Nectar.
Yeah. In the alien books, like the novels that they had like in the 90s, like they used queen jelly and they called it nectar, and it was like used as like a steroid or like a performance
makes
enhancing
sense, okay.
drug.
Yeah.
And the Marines would like inject themselves with it too.
But
The books were crazy.
Yeah, but the reason I say from a lore perspective this makes sense is because we're revisiting the ooze from Prometheus and Covenant,
Uh-huh.
and it goes and straightens this back where it's like, yes, genetically we're mutating a human at its molecular form.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense that this looks the way it does because you're mixing the genetics of this mysterious organism with the genetics of a human being,
That's pretty cool.
and it's
how they did that.
cool in theory.
In theory, but the execution wasn't there.
It's just so weird because Nick said it. It's
Can
like
I see that?
He's looking for it.
Honestly,
They're not.
it's kind of hard to find.
Even
Yeah.
on
Like,
Twitter?
even I'm looking on Twitter right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's difficult because no one has like
Try
I mean,
4chan. In the
Careful
theater.
with 4chan.
in the-
I might have to, but I'll
Careful with
thread.
4chan.
let me keep looking. You guys can talk.
Humanoid
Just stay away
xenomorph.
from B. Don't go to /B.
So
Stay away from there.
from a lore perspective, it makes sense, right? But Nick said this best yesterday, which is we already saw this in Alien Resurrection,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, you did. So why are we doing this again? And our theory is that Fede Alvarez took Act 1, 2, and 3
You might have to go to Regal.
to.
This is the popcorn bucket at Regal.
Oh, I think you can get it online.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way cooler.
Yeah, that one is way cooler.
Regal Cinema.
You know what? I do like it. I just don't like it the only reason why is those bats were not in the movie. Doesn't make any sense. That's why I like.
Does the movie make sense?
Yes. Romulus makes 100% sense.
The third act?
This is no the third act is weird.
Okay.
Because the reason why you have the humanoid one is because of the liquid, and then she stabs herself, and then it goes straight into that, and it morphs it into an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we were originally thinking was because in the
Which we
entire
liked our idea more.
I do like our idea more because when it happens in the entire movie, you don't see a queen. You see a lot of facehuggers, but you don't see a queen.
Mm-hmm.
So what Rene turns to me and he goes, "What if she gives birth to the first ever queen?" Because now she naturally,
Yeah.
and then that gives her the ability. That gives the xenomorphs the ability to have eggs, and then that's the natural progression. Because in Alien 1, you never see a queen. You don't see her until
you just
2.
see eggs.
See,
Yeah,
so
you don't see her until 2.
the thing is that why we thought that is because this is between 1 and 2. So I'm thinking, okay, so this movie starts after 1, so that means this movie sets up 2. It doesn't do that. I thought it doesn't do that, right?
It doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But remember, it strengthens the existence of Prometheus and Covenant.
Okay.
So for people that watched Covenant and said this movie is stupid, you could still say it's stupid, but it has a higher ground to stand on because Covenant now makes sense.
Sorry, really quick. What's the time frame between 1 and 2?
1 and 2 is more than 100 years.
Is it more than 100
I think it's
years?
like 200 years. Yeah.
Is it really?
I'll look up the
She was
timeline.
in cryo sleep for a really long
Yeah,
time.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know it was that long.
Yeah, because Romulus in 1 is
No, it
like-
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was-
Because what was it? Ripley's daughter had barely died, and she was like in her 80s.
Isolation.
So
I'm talking about just
Isolation's
Alien
not-
1.
I'm
from Alien
to
in
Aliens.
it was like 60 years.
Really?
No, because I think
was
Alien
longer.
to Alien Romulus was like 57.
Then she's
Look up the timeline.
I'll look at the
it up.
timeline.
Yeah, because I thought it was over like 200 years or something like that. And keep in mind, these people can go into cryo sleep and they don't age, so it could be that.
Yeah.
But anyways, it makes Covenant and Prometheus much more bearable, and you can understand them now. You don't
Okay.
have to like them, but now from a lore perspective, they make sense.
I never understood the time frame between each movie.
Time
that's why.
frame is
Weird.
very
Yeah.
confusing.
It's weird, but if you look at Romulus in 3 acts, you see where Alvarez had his inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Act 1 is pure Alien.
Yeah.
It's high intensity anxiety with that fear, but it's not stupid fear. It's like, well, we're effed. And you like the scene that we love so much is they had to go through a room full of face huggers.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
It was such a good scene because they look at the synth that they're with and they're like, well, what can we do to kind of bypass this? Because we have to get to the other side of Romulus. And he's like, well, the face huggers, which is great, don't have eyes. So the way they can sense people or their hosts or their victims or whatever, their prey, is through heat signatures
Cool.
and through sound.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you make anything, any sound or just disperse any amount of heat, they know where you're at.
They can also tell by if you're stressing out,
Yes.
or if they. Yeah, he even said like they can sense your pheromones.
Yes.
If you're
So,
stressed out,
so like if you get goosebumps,
Yeah.
anything like that.
they
Yeah.
sense that. Yeah.
So Ray has this idea where she's like, well, why don't we just increase the temperature to match our body temperature, which is 98.7 degrees. And he's like, that might work. And it's like, great, it's a might.
And
That-
right before
that's a,
they get
that's a
in,
smart idea.
Yeah.
Right before they get in, he tells them like, okay, just make sure you're calm. You have a steady heartbeat. You don't get stressed out. Don't get afraid, and don't panic.
And don't make any noise.
Yeah, don't
Yes.
make any noise. So it's
'Cause
like
they'll hear you.
crap. Okay, so if they told me that, I'm like, I'm not going in, guys. Like,
I'm dead.
yeah.
I close my eyes and just walk.
The reason I'm not a fan of horror is because I feel like most horror is you are watching it as an audience member, you're not participating. And so a lot of the times I get pissed off at the characters for making stupid decisions.
Yeah,
In
big
this
time.
case,
Don't go in there.
it wasn't a stupid decision. Everything was done to a T to the point where it felt like
I would've
everyone in
done
that
that.
theater was walking through that room.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Well, the movie does a good job of like there is no other way.
Yes.
There's no alternative. This is the way we have.
Not
to
only
go.
that, but also I did really enjoy the synth. I really enjoyed Andy.
This synth was actually better, and then it was better than it didn't go the classic route with the synths
no.
in movies. It starts that way into the end of the first act,
Yes.
but then it changes. They change it up a bit,
It
which
does
is good.
the Blade Runner thing.
Yeah.
Which is you don't know if they're a synth because at first when the movie starts, you think that Andy is an autistic person.
Yeah.
Because he has signs of autism where he stutters his words.
He's not making eye contact.
Exactly. And then even Nick, it caught Nick too because I heard him go like, "Oh, he's a synth," and I'm like, "I caught Nick. That means it's good."
He's just an older model.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And so and his prime directive is to protect Rey at all costs.
Her in the story, her dad found him in the scrap heap, and then he fixed him up the best he could, and he was supposed to be like a best friend.
Yes. So he gets an upgrade because the crew or the three people that went to go get the cryo tubes and cryo fuel to power these tubes to be able to escape the planet they're from get trapped in the room full of facehuggers. And so Rey figures if we take the corpse of this destroyed synth and insert the chip into Andy, we're able to give him
access.
Yeah,
because he's they thought he's a product of the company. So he immediately has access or knows how to get in and stuff like that, which works.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to secure areas during a lockdown, he doesn't have the authority to open the door. So so they change it up and it's
smart.
Yeah. So that's when
there's incentives to everything.
That's the thing.
Cool.
It's
I like that.
Everything there's a reason for everything that happened, and that's why me and Nick were like, this is really good. This is cool. They're showing us the reason of why, and then again, the stakes get higher and stuff like that, and the stress of it, just you feel it more and more.
Yeah, and then it was interesting too because they said it was an old station.
Yeah.
And it had been there for a while, so the science officer that was on there is the same model as Ash from the first one. So they used the same actor.
That's
Cool.
the reveal.
And they did the CGI like de-aging.
Yeah.
And that's like a cool little, and his name was Rook. Instead of Ash.
So, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, his name's Bishop, about why it was this model rather than David. And I explained it this way. David's prime directive was to keep having this specimen keep evolving to create the perfect organism. Rook's prime directive was what was good for the company. And so that's the theme that you get in this entire film. Every decision from there on out, when Andy gets the chip inserted, his prime directive changes. Instead of it being what's good for Rey, what's good for the company. And then we jump into the second act, which, real quick, you start to get aspects of Aliens, which is more action-packed, and the decision-making becomes more narrow. There's a reason why they're making the decisions they are, and even though you don't like those decisions, tough luck, you're dealing with
So
it.
I was having a rough time trying to find it. So the best I found was just somebody who took a picture.
Of the face?
Somebody took a picture of it when it was like there on screen. So it's a little blurry, but you can still get the idea. As long as
Yeah. Very good. That's what it looked like.
That's straight up from Splice.
Yeah.
That is just the
Yeah.
creature from Splice.
So you know what was funny? The more I sit on it, it looks like the creature from Splice. Not only that, but also it looks like what was it called? Dead Space.
Dead Space?
It also looks like Slenderman.
It looks like Slenderman. It looks like It looks like the aliens from Dead Space with like the things coming out.
It also looks like from those creatures you fight from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hooded ones,
Mark it down so we can try to.
I'm gonna try and save it. I'm gonna save this one so that way I have it. But
Feet look super weird.
maybe in the next like 2 days we'll find a better picture.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that's like it's weird, right? It looks really weird. And then he also has like the weird like ribbing of an alien.
An engineer and an alien. is
Okay,
what I'm
it's-
getting.
that's what we thought.
That's what we thought. So Rene mentioned the Queen, and then I'm like, it would have been cool. I would even accepted the hybrid humanoid engineer.
Yes.
That would have
Like-
been okay. I would have been okay with that, but it ended up being a xenomorph.
Okay, so really quick. So the first alien
Womp womp.
takes place in 2122.
22.
Okay. Romulus takes place in 2142.
20 years after.
20 years, okay.
20 years. And then Aliens takes place 2179.
Oh.
So 50 years.
50
So it's
years.
50 years. Because that's why I'm saying her daughter had just died.
I see. Okay.
And she was saying that her daughter died of old age.
Then the article I read was wrong because they were making it seem like.
I thought it was much
But
later
you know
in the
what?
future,
Granted,
too.
I was reading a GameStop article, and the
That's
article
probably
was
why.
that was probably why. And the article was just
Was it
like, in
GameSpot?
order for GameSpot,
Okay.
not GameStop, GameSpot.
Yeah.
But the article's title was why Alien should stop relying on its lore for it to succeed in the future. I'm like, you're dumb.
Yeah,
No.
and then Prometheus was 2091. I mean 2093.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
okay.
Well, the first parts of the film take place in 2010. The TED Talk scene,
yes, no, those are 2023.
2023.
Yes.
So last year.
Yeah, they would have been 2023, and then it goes into 2090.
Light, faster than light speed travel.
Wayland.
Yeah, and then you have 2093,
Mhm.
and then Covenant was 2104.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, because remember, Wayland is in Prometheus.
Yeah.
because he's trying to
But
find.
it's not Wayland Yutani
Yeah.
yet.
Huh?
It's not Wayland.
It's a
Yutani.
It's a Wayland.
It's a Wayland company.
Oh, that's why it looks like what's his name, Guy Pearce, and not the other guy.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. So Prometheus is what's.
That's what always confused me. I was like, why does wait? Like, did they just not? Was the other actor just old? Like,
Yutani ended up
Probably.
crashing out.
Yeah.
And they ended up buying him.
Mm.
Anyways, going back to Act 2. So the scene in which the decision had to be made was the pregnant girl in this film actually has a fake death, and Andy. It's essentially Ray, who's the main character, and then the brother of the pregnant girl. They're trapped on the other side, and they're trying to get her, his sister out of the room. And so as they're trying to get the door open, they need Andy's access. And so they tell Andy, open the door. And the xenomorph, you see it in the background crawling.
He's waiting.
He's waiting. So Andy says, no. And they're like, why won't you open the door? And so in the process of the entire panic, you hear the brothers screaming and Andy explaining, if I open the door, it takes 3 seconds to open, 3 seconds to close. That's what the xenomorph wants. I open this door, we all die. And so there's that moment of realization where, yeah, humans are stupid because we're emotionally driven.
Yeah.
And this synth made a decision that was logical for the
It's-
survival of everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the survival of everybody else to complete the mission.
Exactly. And what's messed up about it is that it's not just any person. This is a pregnant person. So the baby would end up dying too.
Mm-hmm.
The aspects of Alien show in that, but you also get a lot of action sequences. And one of Renee's favorite parts of the film is the zero gravity maneuvering.
So what I liked about it was in the trailer for the movie, there's a quick split second of a character flying in zero gravity, and then in front of the character was acid blood in front of it.
Oh, God.
And it's just floating like
Yeah.
liquid.
That's scary.
and it's
So-
all over the place.
So they do this great scene where she has the gun and she's literally just lighting up all the xenomorphs and stuff like that. But she realized that the biggest thing was like, don't shoot the xenomorphs because the blood will just fall and just keep going, and then it'll make holes in the ship. So she has the bright idea of, okay, well, they're in our way, so we need to kill them. So I'm going to turn off the artificial gravity. And she turns off the artificial gravity and just starts going to town and stuff. And then you just see the blood just floating all over. And then they have to get through that. And she's like, oh, crap. Like, so it's just great. There's like, and so then when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, I want to see how she dies, because I don't know. I didn't know it was the main character. I just saw a person just flying straight into the field of acid blood. And I was like, and I told Nick and I told Brian, it's like, I want to see either one or two things. I want to see how they die or how they get out of that, or how they get out of that situation. And it's just basically their maneuvering. And then there's a big old just splotch of it coming right at her. And she does like a quick maneuver, and then just it goes past her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. That's what I liked.
And that's what I mean, though, because and the greatest thing too is that they found a great way in dialogue to, how do I connect Prometheus, Covenant to the Alien?
Yeah.
How do I connect all of these? Because then the alien that they first found to then make the eggs is the alien that Ripley jettisoned.
Yeah.
And they went to go find it. And then when they found it, it was floating in space. And then when they cut it basically cocooned itself in space. And when they found it, it was a giant rock. Once they cut the rock in half and they and they found the alien inside, it woke up and just started killing everything that was inside the station.
Yeah.
So Nick said it best when he said that Fede Alvarez is to Ridley Scott as Dave Filoni is to Kathleen Kennedy.
Actually, Rene said that last
Or
night.
you said that,
Rene
yeah.
said that last
Yeah.
night, yeah.
They basically, he pulled a Dave Filoni where it's like, okay, I have to incorporate everything in this movie and stuff. I gotta explain what happened in the prequel, and then I also gotta set up maybe a future movie just in case as well too. So it was all executed just like how Dave Filoni would have done it, where he just did for The Mandalorian and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna mention prequel. I'm gonna mention also showcase stuff that might happen in the the setup for the future trilogy coming out and stuff like that. So it was good. I thoroughly liked the connection of Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
There was one thing that I feel like Alvarez didn't do well, and it was the ticking clock.
Oh yeah,
Time is distorted like a mother in that thing, because the station is on a ticking clock of it's going to hit the rings of this planet in 36 hours. Yes. There's something that happens that then hits it off its mark, and now it's going to hit the rings in an hour.
43 minutes.
Yeah,
43 minutes.
in 43 minutes.
Oh boy.
Now, mind you, the 43 minutes happens maybe at the 30-minute mark of this movie.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-hour movie.
And it's a 2-hour movie. So you're watching this whole movie, and then out of nowhere, they're like, the ring will hit in 30 minutes. And you're like, that was 10 minutes?
Yeah.
What are you
The
talking
one that
about?
got me was when she fights the aliens or the xenomorphs in Zero Gravity. That's the 10-minute mark. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way that
And they're at the
she's
bottom
gonna-
of the station.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's absolutely no way they can get out of here in 10 minutes. But my theory is that Fede Alvarez, he was one of the writers for the script. He probably got to like page 30 of the script and said like, I got to wrap this up pretty soon. So let's just go ahead and do another 43 pages because one page of script is 1 minute of film. And then he realized 43 pages in, he's like,
I wrote too much.
I'm not done. I still got the third act.
Well, even like at the end of the movie when Andy and what was the girl's name? Ray. When Andy and Ray get to the airlock where the ships they need to get to, when they get there, the ship's counting down from 10, 9. Mind you, they're at the bottom and the ship is basically on top, which they have to climb maneuvers to get to the ship to escape.
Yeah.
But then by the time they get to like 5, 4, they're in the ship and they're like locking everything in. I'm like, so they just took like 5 seconds, just like just.
It's like anime sometimes when
Yeah.
they do the internal monologue.
But what I was saying was, I feel like that's an issue with somebody going, oh, we need to put a ticking clock, and it needs to sound epic, so we need to put it like really small. So let's make it 30 minutes. Because all you needed to do at the 2-hour mark is say, it'll hit in 2 hours.
You know how you fix this problem from a writing perspective?
Just say 2 hours.
You
just say whatever the length of the movie is.
You go from a day and a half to 2 hours, like you said.
Yeah.
And then if they get to the ship and they're about to escape, you have an emergency situation, which now reduces the time to the time that's needed to barely get out on
or
time.
you have like an explosion that happens, and then that pushes it closer, and that kills some
2
of your
hours,
time.
Here's
30
the cause.
seconds.
There's the effect.
Yeah, because it the trajectory of it from the top exploding, it now is pushing it down.
Yeah.
And I would have
Run out of fuel. It's an old ship. You know,
100%. If they would have told me that, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But the fact that you only put it at 30 minutes, that was the only thing where it was kind of pushing me out of the movie.
What's the time on it?
1:38.
1:38. We got to wrap this up soon. But, man, there was another point I was going to bring up. I mean, we can't tell you more without really spoiling a lot of it. The entirety of the movie, for me personally, is great. The reason I brought up that this was a Dave Filoni fix is because they also brought back a deleted scene from the first Alien movie, but they did it differently. So in Alien, Ridley Scott's original vision for the xenomorph was that the dead bodies or the prey that it hunted would then be used as
Eggs.
Basically fertilizer to create eggs to make more facehuggers to then replicate even more, right? Or reproduce even more. So there's a scene where the xenomorph drags 2 bodies into a pipe or whatever, a vent. And Nick goes like, oh, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, it's the deleted scene. Sure enough, there's a bunch of black cocoons in one of the lower levels of the ship, and it's essentially humans being plastered on there, but it's for the face huggers to come in and implant them.
Like Alien 2.
Yes. So they and AVP.
AVP. I was about to say
AVP and Aliens and all them. Yeah.
So we
the
don't
iconic
get
room where they get
Yeah.
The impregnating room.
But we see it now, so it's
Cool.
like it's a harder
More insight. I like that.
realization. Yeah, and it's a throwback to Ridley Scott's original idea for the xenomorph. To wrap up my end of it,
I did think it was interesting though because they showed a dead xenomorph, like an older dead xenomorph, where it has like it's impaled.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's basically when that first xenomorph that Ripley ejected, they killed it.
That's the one.
Oh,
the one that's
okay.
impaled is the one that
Yeah,
Ripley.
But you can see the decay, and I thought it was a cool little nod to Resurrection because you can see its skull underneath the xenomorph thing, and you can see like the eyes and
Yeah.
everything like that, like the skull
the
from
skull socket.
the skull sockets that were inside of what was it for the humanoid one. It looks very similar to it, and I was like, oh, that's a cool little like callback to Resurrection.
Yeah,
Because and also Resurrection's 210 years
that's
after.
the one that's 200 years. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
it's
sense.
210 years after the events of 3.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense because it's Ripley's clone.
Yes.
Yeah, in Resurrection. So to wrap up, my favorite parts of this film, I will defend this to the death. Loved Alien Romulus, but if I were to highlight one of my favorite things, is that Fede Alvarez did a fantastic job at filming this as if it were the 1979 version, where you can tell that props were being used.
I like that.
There's a clear scene.
Practical effects.
Oh my god,
That's great.
There's a scene where where they're going through the room of facehuggers, when they peer through the window, there's a facehugger that's just sitting on a box like this and it just goes and then
Yeah,
puts his finger down, and then right underneath is a facehugger that goes, and you can clearly tell it's an RC car, and I'm like, that is fantastic. Just keep the cheesiness. We
Yeah.
don't need CG. Just make it practical.
Let the actors see what they were going to react.
Exactly.
To, you know?
That was
not
the-
a tennis ball or something.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing because he missed it, and because it was in the very, very beginning of the movie, and it was really, really cool because you can see that there was a practical effect ship. It was like a miniature,
Cool.
and it's behind black and everything else, and I'm like, oh, that's really sick, and it's great imagery because it's just the darkness of space, and then you don't even really see it, and then in the darkness you see something moving, and then the ship appears out of darkness. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like it looks like a practical effect. And then the camera turns to this CGI rock. And I'm like, you can't have the two effects next to each other. Because the practical effect ship looks really great. But when you put it next to a CGI rock, the rock looks really fake.
You should have just put a rock on a string and just
Yeah, honestly, just get a rock and paint it, and then just carry it in. That's it. That's all you had to do. You didn't need to pay CGI guys. You could have just had a rock and then throw it into the thing.
We just saved you $10,000.
Yeah.
But I love the practical effects of it. For me, if I were to give you the top 3 Alien films personally, it's Alien, Romulus, and then Alien Covenant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
Anyone
you?
else?
Top 3?
That's
Or
good.
just favorite parts of
Oh,
Alien
just
Romulus.
just the end for the field of acid, blood, and zero gravity. That
Yeah,
that
that
made
is-
it for me. That I was like, that's cool. That's creative.
Yeah, honestly, I really liked seeing the facehuggers in the water.
Oh,
That was a really cool
That was a
scene
cool scene.
That was
because it's just
intense.
like it's just 15 to 20 facehuggers in water.
The facehuggers
Those
had
scare
a
me the
really
most.
good. Yeah, I hate it.
They scare me the
Hate it.
most.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna like. You're gonna feel so.
yeah, this
And-
one-
I'm
disgusted.
excited.
And I
There's a
thought
lot in
I
this
did
one.
think it was really cool too because they had something called an X-ray torch. So it was like a light that you could put against your arm or in a body part, and it would light up underneath your arm,
Oh, cool.
so you could see through it.
Mhm.
And and one of the girls has it that gets attached to her face by a facehugger. So then they eventually are able to get the facehugger off. She runs, and Andy's trying to kill her because he's like, dude, like we can't let her on the ship. And then she starts feeling the facehugger, and then you see her get the
Xenomorph.
torch, and you can see something crawling inside of her, and then you can see it breaking her sternum.
Oh, cool.
You
And,
hear it too.
and you can hear it, and you see it with the
Crunch.
torch, and you hear the crunch, and she's like starting to seize up, and like you just see it crack open, and like
Cool.
you can see this practical effect xenomorph cracking through it.
I'm really
There's
excited
some
for Tuesday.
humane stuff that they bring in there too, and again, it's small dialogue parts, but like every death in Alien, the franchise, I always felt like the big impact was the chest burster or the back burster, right? But you don't feel bad for the person. In this case, I felt bad for the person.
I do.
Well, I never do because I'm more interested in what's about to pop out. In this one, I did feel bad because she says before she dies, "I don't want to die," and
Don't
then,
let me, don't let me die.
and then she dies, and you're like, "Oh, that sucks."
Also, I didn't. That was an interesting piece of lore too. I thought was interesting because I didn't know that the little tiny one makes another cocoon. It like hides to evolve.
It was.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
So we got that in Alien, but again, it was deleted.
Yeah.
Because we saw the skin and we saw it grow and we know that it was hiding, but we didn't know that it was cocooning.
Yeah, because in this one, like you see a cocoon, and then one of the guys he gets like an electrical torch and he shoves it into the cocoon, and you're hearing, it's like, and then like acid's flowing out of it and everything else, and you're like, oh, he got to it. He got to it before it like became dangerous, and then out of nowhere you just see the tail, and you're like, oh. Yeah,
there's a lot of vaginas in this movie too.
Also, there's a lot of there's a lot of really good jump scares. There's some really good ones. There was a couple that there was
with meaning.
Yeah, but there was like two that got me, and I was like, oh, okay.
The last one got me.
The last one got me.
Yeah, the face.
No, the last one got me.
The human xenomorph.
Yeah.
No, not the. Yeah, but like when it's falling, and everything else, like you see all the dirt coming off of her, and it's hitting her mask, and then it just comes out of the dirt.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That one didn't get me as bad.
Really?
That one got me.
That one got
I
me.
Suspected it. Which one got? What other one?
I don't remember. I know that there was another one that got me. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I think the one that got me was the face hugger in the water. That one was.
I felt like that one was going to happen. Though.
I just don't like. I love face huggers. I don't want them near me.
Yeah.
No, who would?
Yeah.
And not only that, but also they're the quick little buggers too. So they're just like chasing after them, and they're breaking down doors.
That's what scares me.
Oh my
about
god,
them.
dude! It was
They're like fast roaches.
Yeah, I do have to admit, I was the first like hour and a half of that movie. I was really tense.
We walked out.
We were all really tense.
I carried a little plushie face hugger from Loot Crate, and as Renee's walking down the stairs,
You threw it at him?
I threw it at Rene. He goes like.
And he's like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah, why would you do that after we just saw this movie?
I was just like, why not?
Like,
I think we scared a couple people because I threw it behind me and
Yeah.
Nick caught it, and Nick does his little girl scream like ah, and like we saw a couple people by the soda stream go like what the hell, and they just came out of the theater.
Yeah, they just came out of the theater with us, and then we had the little plushie, and we were throwing it at each other. It was funny.
It's a great film. I cannot recommend this
It's
enough.
good.
Yeah,
it's a good
Yeah,
time.
it was a good time. If you can just suspend disbelief, along with like the alien and everything like that, just don't pay attention to the time.
Yeah.
Because I did think that the time, like the fact that they were like 2 hours later, and they were like, "This has only been 10 minutes." And I was like, "All right,
Yeah,
sure, whatever."
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
you know, Andy does this to my face sometimes, and I'm like, that's not what you should be doing to someone who watches Alien. Yeah, I don't.
Did she watch Face Off?
Why?
Because
They
they,
do that.
do that in Face Off.
Oh, this?
Like this, it's like the face.
Oh no, she literally like will try to
Color
grab
in the
my
sun,
face like
right?
this.
Where
Yeah,
he's
like-
that was
Dad.
Yeah.
Face Off.
Anyways,
So weird.
Let's go ahead and wrap up the show because we still got to do some stuff, and we don't want to have you add in
Film
2
that
hours.
skit. Film that skit.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 210. Please follow us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com. Please go subscribe to our YouTube and comment down below if you've seen Alien Romulus. Let us know if you liked it or not. But please like the video. Share this channel with other people who you think might like it because we want to get to 500 by the end of the year. And if you guys are on the go, please follow us on our audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify. Are we ready to wrap this up?
Yes. Go.
All right, this has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 210. My name is Brian.
I'm Sean.
Renee.
Nick.
Signing up from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.